Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome everyone. We're going to get started in a few minutes here. I'm just getting set up. Welcome guys. I hope everyone had a great Monday. And let's see what Tuesday brings us in the markets. We'll go over quickly the news today and pre-market and after hours earnings, and then we'll get right into the charts. We're here till 10 a.m. and then Dave will be taking over post New York later. I believe it's 10:30 or 11.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Recording in progress.
Hey, good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. It's 7 a.m. Eastern. It is July 22nd, Tuesday. Thank you, guys. We're going to go over the Forex Factory just for today and pre-market earnings and after-hour earnings, just to refresh your memory. And we'll get into the charts. We're going to go to 10 a.m. Eastern, so we're going to go through COMEX and Wall Street. And securities of choice we'll be looking at is obviously gold, because that's basically what everybody is trading today. We'll take a look at gold, and then we'll move into US30 and NASDAQ as well. The markets are a little choppy right now in the 5 minutes. Like you can see how gold is trading these candles, a lot of spin top candles right now. The volume will obviously open up in as it continues to consolidate. When you're looking at NASDAQ and US30 is really, really choppy inside here. And NASDAQ looks like it's trading a little bit better. The candles have smaller wicks, so that's a little bit different volume than what you see over here with this range over here. So hopefully things improve volume-wise, but because this is choppy. You know, I hate coming in every morning when I start my trading, and then I start to see this. Remember what I was saying, the last few days had nice trending volume, and it's nice to buy pullbacks or easy to see, identify support and resistance areas. With this stuff, it's pretty difficult, okay? And now I think that there's maybe some news in the market or earnings. Look at Dow just dropping right here, okay? So you got a massive candle just breaking down right at 7 a.m. Okay, and unfortunately things like this happen. So like if you're in buys, a candle like this could really come down and hunt for your stop loss. This happens. The only thing that we can do is practice proper risk management when you're trading. Sometimes when you make a mistake, for example, if you're in a buy and a big candle comes down like this, if you are over leveraged, sometimes you can't control that candle, but what you can control is your risk. Okay, so please guys, try hard to continue to the best of your ability to improve your risk management when you're trading. If you're having difficulty with it, then I suggest That's where you get started, okay? Before you even learn what a candlestick is, make sure you learn your risk management and take it pretty serious, okay? Otherwise, you're going to struggle as a trader, okay? But we're going to get started with gold when we get into the charts. But right now, just really quickly, this is this morning, Tuesday, July 22. We had some British news come out already. Public sector net borrowing. We had at 5:15, Bank of England Governor Bailey is speaking, high impact. Okay, probably the speech is over by now. At 8:30 a.m., guys, I know we went over this yesterday, but just a refresher out there. Fed Chair Powell is speaking right at 8:30. So COMEX is at 8:20, 10 minutes later is 8:30, and then Fed Chair Powell starts to speak, okay? So we just got to keep that in mind. Again, could be some volatility anytime he's speaking. At 10 a.m., we have our Richmond Manufacturing Index coming out of Wall Street. And then later, not much going on this afternoon and into the close of the market. Earnings today, right now, Coca-Cola is reporting. Yep, they just reported right now 5 minutes ago. They beat their earnings per share. We'll see when the revenue comes out. Good surprise. Guidance is 50-50 right now. Lockheed Martin, they report at 7:30. General Motors, GM, report at 6:30. Already came out. Just the revenue is missing here. But they had a beat over here. And RTX Corporation comes out. And quite a big lineup today. Big earnings throughout the day today. But the big names are at the top of the list here. Okay. And after hours, we also have after hours earnings going in here. SAP is earning. Intuitive Surgical, we talked a little bit about that. Enphase, Texas Instruments, and Capital One Financial. Okay, the bigger names are later this week, but that's what's going on today in earnings. In the news right now, Donald Trump obviously is always in the news here. One chart shows how the market has moved on from tariffs for now. So tariff news no longer drives stocks as investors see corporate profits staying resilient in 2026. So who knows what's happening? Maybe corporations are bringing in good money and the tariff talk is over. But you still got to understand anytime he changes his mind could impact the markets on the lower time frame. So if you are scalping or intraday trading, tariffs are not off the table. Make sure you understand that there's still volatility. What else we got going on? Trump media stocks test the limits of Bitcoin accumulation. So the Trump's company here, Trump Media, bought some Bitcoin. I believe it was a couple $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So that could see some positive momentum and bullish momentum here. Chances of the India and US trade deal are dimming over here. NVIDIA chip challenger Furosa AI lands its first major customer. High imports, soft summer demand weigh on US gasoline. Ethereum is surging and more companies want in. Okay, Ethereum all-time highs right now. Hopefully some of those altcoins can start to follow and hit some highs over here. But kind of Bitcoin and Ethereum are leading the way here. Trump's trade loophole push risks 70% of China exports to US. So lots going on here with trade talk, tariffs talk, all of these things. Okay, so just take it easy when you're trading. Just manage your risk. That's all you can do. And right now in the pre-markets, pretty flat. We saw the charts flat and choppy. S&P is down negative 0.07, so it's basically flat. Dow futures are flat. You can see 0.01. So NASDAQ is the only one negative 0.2, and that's what we got going on. And gold negative 0.3. Our Discord, here's our lineup today, and if we do see some trade setups. Right here was that sell US30 at 705. It was released right over here at 7 to sell below 44,300, and it just dropped that candle 75 pips. So if you got in, congratulations, and had a big break of support right there. And we'll continue to look out for some signals. If you're in a long buy on gold, we'll see what's happening with that. Okay. So there's a long buy at 3,393 here. Okay, that hit 90 pips. So we'll take a look at all of these as things develop today. On Telegram, guys, on YouTube, there's a free Telegram channel pinned at the top for everybody. And you're welcome to join it. There's a lot of good news. We have a winner for congratulations to Daniel Asaya over here. He was our lucky winner of the $15,000 Fixify funded account and a 3-month exclusive membership plan with us here at SST. So big congrats to Isaiah and for participating in this. And a big thank you to everyone else who participated. And if you didn't win, no worries. We'll have another giveaway coming this week. And so we'll do these on a regular basis, but we do need your participation to follow the instructions, and you might be one of those lucky winners. So we've already contacted Daniel, so congratulations. And we'll get him all set up with everything, okay? And these are some recaps of our trade ideas over here. This was of the gold buy yesterday. So you saw gold yesterday. It just wouldn't stop. It was on a tear. So sometimes you just got to let it go or buy pullbacks. And it's one of those days, you know, sometimes you want to sell it. Sometimes it's difficult to sell something that's very bullish. And we have our free blogs available for everybody. This was the last one we did, was the weekend trading routine. Build your trading edge, do some things on the weekends. Some traders take their weekends serious. Some traders don't do anything on the weekends, you know, but results speak for themselves. The traders who I see that are working hard on the weekends, sometimes it pays off for them more than others that are not putting in the time and effort into the weekend. So that's up to you guys. You know, we can't force you to do anything. It's like a teacher at school can't force you to do homework, but if you want to do it and learn more about the markets and learn more about yourself, it's a win-win situation. Anytime we're doing something to make money, and the more you can learn, I believe it's good to continue to learn. But some traders don't care to learn. You know, they just want to go in and buy a candlestick and hope for the best. But if that's your strategy, good luck in the long run. But education is very powerful, guys. It can continue to open up doors for you. Not just in the stock markets, not just in futures, not just in forex, not just in crypto, but other doors can open that you can learn. So congratulations to those that are still studying and learning as much as you can, okay? Guys, our schedule this week. So Dave is doing post New York's right after me. So he's going to be coming in. We're going 7:10, and then Dave will be coming in here around 10:30, 11 a.m. And that will be the schedule all week. So we're Monday to Friday, 7 to 10. Dave is doing some post. And then don't forget of our wick analysis crash course on Friday, okay? And then our free blog available for everybody right over here. Our members only, the weekly outlooks. This is the one I was just talking about, the weekend trading routine, build your trading edge. XRP hit all-time highs. Eris Mining, guys, this one is a gold mining company. I started to start a position. I bought 1,000 shares, and it's going to be a swing position. And I'll slowly start adding on dips and hopefully look for maybe like catch a 5-10% return, however long it takes. If it takes 1 week, 1 month, whatever it is, I want to build with some momentum on gold mining and look for a little swing position. So there is some news on the some education on the company itself and what it is, okay? And there's more blogs available for you guys, okay? So let's get into the charts. That's why everyone's here. We're going to get started with gold. So if you guys are ready, hit the likes on YouTube. If we get enough likes on YouTube, then we'll continue with indices. If not, then I'll just share my screen with the snipers in the Zoom, and then we'll do our own work, and then this one will just stay with gold. So guys, we need your participation. We need some motivation from you guys. If you guys do enjoy what we do here, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and let's just continue to go here. So if you are in any trades right now, you know, just I can see right now it's kind of performing a one bottom, came up, there's the resistance, came back down, kind of into 50% of this bullish candle, still holding good volume, and it's got a higher low, pushing up maybe to get back up to this resistance. If it comes all the way back down, maybe look for a double bottom right around here at 3,383 or a break of support. And see, I have nothing below me. So that's why we need to do a top-down analysis to figure out key levels, okay? So I'm going to start off on the daily. I'm going to talk a little faster today. I've had a cup of coffee and we're ready to go. Okay, so this is what we got going on the daily. You guys should know. If you don't know, now you know. The all-time high of gold is right here, 3,500. It was hit on April 22. And since the all-time high, the most recent pullback is right there. The lowest point is 3,120, and that was hit on May 15. So that's our range on the daily. So, but you can see I'm going back all the way. If we look at this bullish candle, it was April. So April, May, June, July, you know, this could be 3 months of analysis here. Okay, so this is not scalping. This is more on the higher time frames. Our zones of interest. So now we got our all-time high and the lowest point. These are zones of interest. When we came in here, you can see when we hit that all-time high, it came in and the body closed right there. Just clumping in that body of volume right there and stretching it into the future, you can start to see how you hit double tops, triple tops, and we might be driving into this very, very soon. So when you stretch it across, you figure it out, stretch it across, double top, continue to go across. There's your triple top, fake out up there, coming in. Look at, we're trading in it right now. We closed in this thing yesterday and we're trading right in it today. Okay, so there's definitely upside momentum. We can continue to drive, maybe try for a fourth time to break out of here, or the sellers could be there and reject this thing back down. Okay, so the volume is in this all-time high supply zone. Okay, if we continue to break out of here, where could we go? I would be targeting maybe these bodies up here as a point of interest where that fake out happened right here. That was June 13, Friday. Then over the weekend, they slammed it down. Same with this. It closed up here on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday, they slammed it back down. So a critical point of interest would be where those bodies are, 3,433. So that's where I placed a yellow line right there. We're trading inside this zone right now. Remember this big bearish candle right here? Let's identify where 50% of this is. If you don't want to guess, and I don't want to guess, let's have a nice clean analysis. Let's bring our Fibonacci tool, and there's the white line. So that white line, 0.5, represents 50% exactly of that big bearish candle that engulfed that big Friday momentum when the new week started right there. So maybe we might be trading into that today. Okay, so there it is, 3,400, and I'll just round it up to 10, 3,410. We're not too far off of it. Our high today is about 3,402, so not too far off from the high. Okay, and then is there a supporting zone? We were going with this one, this bullish flag right there. Okay, so when you figure something out, when you can see it, you know, then start to identify and stretch it into the future. Reason why I was identifying this from all the way back in mid-April was when I saw these 3 daily candles, especially the second one close above that structure, and then the third one had that ignited push and just continued to move. Then it started to flag in there. Again, there was my first bearish candle that came down and closed right there. Look at the next day how the bullish one opened. So just there, it's showing the 3 days bull flag. When you identify it, I identify bull flags with a green box, and I continue to stretch that box in the future. That's what keeps me disciplined to look for buys or sells off of these zones eventually when the volume comes down there. And I know it takes days, it takes months, it takes minutes, depending on your time frame, for it to retrace back. A lot of traders don't have patience, and they're very impatient and don't wait, and that's why they're struggling as traders. Some other traders can wait all day, can wait all weeks, can wait months for volume to come, because they know when it comes in there, they have a high probability of making money or getting paid. So if you haven't learned patience or discipline yet, it's not just about technicals and fundamentals and risk management. You also got to learn patience and discipline when you're trading. If you're lacking that, that's what you got to work on. You know, just teach yourself to wait for a trade to come to you, and teach yourself how to wait. If you got ants in your pants and you can't wait, then you're going to take a lot of impulse moves. You're going to take a lot of fake outs. You're going to get upset at the markets. You're going to get pissed off. You're going to revenge trade, you're going to hedge trade, you're going to get mad, and you're going to lose money at the end of the day. And it's not going to do you any good, okay? And you can see it kind of was a false break below here. It kind of barcoded on the daily and came right back in. And then we traded up there, came back down. Notice our lows have not dropped into the green box. They got those tweezer bottom equal lows on the daily. On this candle, June 30th, that low, and this candle right here on May 29th. Those lows are equal, okay? And they're continuing to push up. Now we're in this nice ascending trend, making a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low. We closed with amazing volume yesterday on gold above all of these wicks. So now, maybe what we got to see is, are we going to be retracing down? And maybe if we are not in a buy, can we be looking for a pullback buy to continue with this uptrend that's going on, okay? So now I'm going to focus more in on yesterday's volume and today's volume. So yesterday you can see on Friday we closed right here. Monday we opened right here. There was a slight little pullback into 50% of Friday's volume. Perfectly, caught a wick, hit those pending orders, grab those buyers, and then we moved up to the opening position. We continued to fill. We filled last Friday's high. We continued to fill last Wednesday's high. We continued to break. We made a high of the day up there, and we closed relative near the high. So we've got a short wick up there. Now, let's figure out where we closed yesterday and how we opened today. Right there, 3,396.97. Okay, so were there any gaps in the market? That's what I look for. That's why I always look, where do we close, where do we open? Was there a gap up or gap down? I noticed no gaps in the market. It was originally bullish. It opened up and we made a high of the day. Okay, so that's our high of the day. That's why I place a purple line at the high of the day. And it's 3,402.50 cents. And I look, is it higher than yesterday? Is it equal to yesterday? Or is it lower than yesterday? And technically speaking, it looks like it's a little higher than yesterday. So when we're talking about trending up, that is part of the puzzle. You got to complete the puzzle. It has to make higher highs in order to keep moving up. And we have that today. So it notched in a higher high, okay, just relative to this structure, where it made this higher high, pulled back, higher low. Made that higher high last Wednesday, and then it came back higher low. Now we came back up for a new higher high, but someone will say to me, well, Ron, it's lower than over here. Yes, I understand. That's overall higher time frame. When we're looking over here and at the all-time high, now you're talking weeks and months out. So the trend is on the higher time frames, on the weeklies, are coming down. You're correct. But we're slowly on the daily building an uptrend. But once we break above and take out these highs, then we're not too far away from filling that all-time high wick back there. But so over here, we're moving up, coming down, moving up, coming down, moving up. So this is an ascending flag, but we're coming into territory where there's a lot of sellers in there, okay? So today, when we made that new high, it got rejected. And then the sellers pushed the volume back down to the opening price. And then they also pushed it all the way down to 3,382. That's our low of the day. You can see how small the daily candle is compared to yesterday's. So we have maybe a flag pattern developing. This is where it could start to consolidate in here, where you're going to have a battle now of buyers and sellers. And this is a seller zone. Okay, so I give the benefit of the doubt in a red zone that there's more sellers than there is buyers, unless the buyers can prove to me that they can close above this zone and then invert this zone into a demand zone, okay? So we came down, we made our low of the day, and now it's coming right back up. We still have this red volume, bearish volume, sorry, and it can continue to come down to lowest point and continue to drop. Now, one thing I want to look at is yesterday's volume and figure out where 50% or that point of control zone is on yesterday's volume. So again, I grab my Fibonacci tool from the opening price of yesterday's volume to the closing price right there. And then I can see my white line right there. 50% of yesterday's volume is exactly 3,373 cents and 73 and 73 cents. If you want to round it up to 75, that's fine. You're getting it at that nice psychological number. But that, in fact, is exactly 50% of yesterday's volume. Now, if you kind of want to give the benefit of the doubt that there's a zone of demand, you can go, again, the 618, one line above, one ratio above the 0.5 Fibonacci, and one ratio below, which is the 382 in this situation, the way how I have it plotted. If you have it reversed, maybe your 382 is on the top, maybe your 618 is on the bottom. It doesn't matter. Just understand that it's 0.5 and the line above and the line below on the Fibonacci. If you want to learn what these ratios are, again, that's where you can continue your education. That's what weekends are for. Okay. So that is our green zone right there. Okay. So if we come back into here today, like for example, if it comes and breaks its low, maybe we'll come in here. Maybe that's where the bigger buyers will be, and maybe they could, push it out of there. However, if the volume, just bearish volume, breaks right through here, eats up all those pending orders, and maybe closes below here on the daily, then that green zone I'll flip red for tomorrow, and maybe we come in here, and then there's more sellers now offering in that zone, and then they start to push down, they break the trend line, and then all of a sudden it's gold is coming back down to test these levels. Okay, that could very well happen depending on what's going on with our volume today inside here. So now what I do is I take an overall kind of mental snapshot in my head of what's going on this daily. Okay, I can see it's moving up nicely, but you see guys, now we're trading in the all-time high supply zone. So definitely sellers could push it down, maybe it pushes down, maybe it holds in here, and then maybe we bounce back up and start to break through here. If there's a lot of shorts, and it's still bullish momentum, we could cause a short squeeze, and then you could see gold continue to drive. Okay. Now I don't want to just sit on the daily all day and watch this thing, because there's 9.5 hours still to go. I would get sick and tired of just staring at this thing all day. So now we got to dissect what's going on this daily candle by going into the hourly. Now we're going to get individual 60-minute candles breaking down that daily candle. So maybe it might make a little bit more sense now as to what's going on. I see this big bullish candle yesterday. Remember, 7 a.m. when we started, 8 a.m. And remember, the whole time I said I was looking for a pullback to enter, and there was no pullbacks. I didn't get a real nice entry. The best entry was 9 a.m. when it came down into here. Didn't come 50% in this candle, didn't really dump down into 50% of this candle. So sometimes shit like that happens, but you maybe have to continue to wait it out for your pullbacks. But anyways, we pushed all the way up to 3,400 yesterday. Then there was that pullback right there, a 3-hour pullback, pulled down and continue to go up. So right there at that pivot point, now this is where it's going to get a lot of lines in here, okay? So this is where someone's going to get confused, and I know it because I've been doing this for a long time. Someone's going to get real confused, but I don't understand the confusion. Just look at what I'm doing, okay? You see how I see these 3 bearish bars? They stopped right there. They came down. They're like Lego pieces. They came down 3 pieces, 3 hours, whatever you want to call these things, okay? They came down. They stopped right there, 3,393, and it pivoted from that position. Then you see a blue block, another blue block. So that's got to be some sort of supporting area right there. The buyers supported that 3-hour bearish trend coming down. They stopped right there. So that's support. Now fast forward where we are right now, this big bearish candle closed below. Now you see when those bullish bars, that's what I mean static. It was support right there. And then if the volume closes below, it turns into resistance. And you see how now those bullish candles come right up, and then they get rejected at that white line, and then it pushes back down. Look now, that gold is coming up, but we're not coming near this white line. So this is hourly resistance is getting strong, and they're starting to offer now down in here. So if you look at 50% of this candle at 1 a.m., maybe now the volume is relative. I'm not going to do the 50% because I've already got bodies already formed. So I've got a pivot right here in the market and a point of interest right there. 3,388 and 99 cents. So if you look at 50%, I know that 50% is exactly right there. That's again, a little bit above, a little bit below. That's that zone. Okay. It's not always going to be exactly 50%. And see how we came right back up? And they pushed it back down. We've retested this, pushed back down, retested, pushed back down. So they're lowering the supply. They're lowering the offers. If you want to draw like kind of like a trend line, whatever you want to do, there's your trend, and there it is. So you can see that we traded into it right there, the high of the day when we made it, and then we pushed back down. It came back up, lower high, and then they pushed it back down, lower low. Came back up, lower high, but there's no new lower lows, so they're building it a little bit right now. Maybe this big red box is confusing you too, okay? So just keep in mind, I'm going to remove this big red box because sometimes it throws a lot of people off. Remember that where we're trading, okay? I know what zone we're trading in. Hopefully you guys know what zone we're trading in, okay? And this is what we got going on. Okay, so is it going to come back down and then we're going to break out of here today? And then if we do, at the high of the day, you've got a lot of hourly resistance up there. Okay, so you can see it. You can see it right there. It was in there, it went back down. It traded in there and went back right down. So if it comes back to near 3,400, is that going to be another top? And then they push it back down. Okay, but you see how we're moving away from it. We're below this line. We're below that line. We're below this line. Now we've got some support, hourly support at the lowest point of the day. Is this going to continue to hold today, or are we going to lose our hourly support and then we're going to break down? Okay, so right there is where we have our hourly support. And then if you lose it, you're coming into the bigger pending orders that maybe haven't been filled on these two bodies, okay? And then if you're struggling to find these fair value gaps and all this bullshit, okay? I'm getting sick and tired of this with some traders that they're overcomplicating so much things. Just grab your Fibonacci tool from the bottom of this hourly candle and go to the close of that second one. You see what I just did there? I'm not working magic, guys, okay? See this? If you're overcomplicating things, then just dumb it down, okay? See this big hourly candle? And then how it continued to move to that next one. Take those two bodies, clump them together. That's a big 2-hour candle because they're single individual 1-hour candles. And then there's your 0.5. Okay, I'm getting 50% of those two big bullish candles. Okay, I'm just going to place a white line just to show you how you can do this. Okay, and right there, if we lose this minor support and comes down right down to here, that's where those buyers might be. Okay. Right at that white line. If you want to give yourself a zone, I know it's a lot of zones and probably going to be wondering what is this guy doing with all these zones, but I just want your eyes to look at this area. Okay, if it comes in there, that could be where the big buyers are waiting. Remember what I was saying? I was waiting for a pullback all day yesterday and I couldn't get it. You don't think that there's other buyers of gold, bigger buyers of gold, institutional buyers of gold waiting for that pullback in here? If you don't think that, then you're kidding yourself, okay? They're in here and they're waiting. When the volume comes in there, they might get filled, but then that's when we got to look at, is there more delta selling volume or more delta buying volume? That's what will dictate the direction in that move. But it's got a high probability if it comes in there, like you got that big bullish move where it created two tops up there. You can consider that all one top. And then if it comes all the way back down, if we lose this, right in there, that could be the bigger neckline where the buyers are, and then they take it back up. Okay, and then when it comes up here, it might not break out. It might just come up and get rejected back down. And then you got bigger M patterns. You got bigger patterns. But right now, we're kind of just consolidating right in here. So if you want to go from the hourly candles, you go into either your 30-minute, your 15-minute, or your 5-minute. On these calls, we go into the 5 minutes, okay? This is what we got going on. So if you remember, this is the big hourly channel. These white lines are hourly points of interest, okay? This is that big green zone, what I just mentioned, and there's that nice white line. So I'm placing an alert here for today at 3,376.75. If the volume comes down to me down there, I will entertain taking a buy, but I'm not just going to jump in blind and just hope for the best. I'm going to watch what happens down here. Just like I'm going to watch if it comes down to the lowest point of the day in this 5-minute supporting area. I'm not just going to blindly buy in there, but I'm going to watch what happens in there. Okay. So this is what's going on the 5 minutes. You can see we've came down. It stopped right there, pivoted, and then we came right back up. right here. That's our neckline, just above that hourly 3,390, I would say, okay? And then since then, we pushed all the way back down. Did we come into the green box? Not yet. We came close to it, and then we moved back up to the hourly support and the top of that hourly trend line. And there is some selling pressure, maybe pushing this thing down. It's very choppy, okay? So when you kind of zoom into these candles, they are a mess, okay? Like, look at them. Not the greatest to be trading, but still you can see that there is a little bit of direction, okay? It moved up, it came back down. We're slowly moving our way back up. Do we have maybe like a 5-minute point of interest right there? This 3,386, 87. You see how it's holding some support of the bodies? You can even go down to those lower wicks if you want, to clean it up. Then you got that wick, you got the wick, you got the wick. Exactly at 3,386, holding 5-minute support. Like if you want, like what I do is I draw a 5-minute green zone right there, okay? And then if it breaks, it could break, be a fake out, come back in, and then go back up. That's one option right there. Watch, okay? Here it is breaking down. It's got 2.5 minutes to go. It might come, how it's coming down here, might respect this green box and go right back up, okay? That's an option. I'm giving you guys the options what this candle can do. And then the third option is it's officially going to close bearish below there. And then it might come up and retest this and then push right back down. Okay, so you see how that bar came all the way back down into that green zone? And then look at the response. That's telling me that there's pending buyers in there that just got activated, and they might even flip this candle to go back up, okay? If you jump in, that's where you can jump in early, and you can catch an impulse move, but they can hurt you as well, because you might go into a sell when it's coming in here, and then you saw that wick, how it reversed right back up. Okay, so when in doubt, just wait it out. See where the candle will close. It will officially tell you where it will close if you wait 90 more seconds. Okay, and it's a spin top too. So these are not the best candles to trade. And then if you want to add some indicators, okay, there's the daily bar indicator. So there was the opening price right there. Okay, and then when it originally opened, it made the highest point of the day. It's right there. There it is, at 7:30. Look at how they spiked it up there, and then started real bearish since then, okay? And then it came all the way down. We pushed back to the opening price, came all the way down. We just made our low of the day right there, those two wicks down there at 325, 330. So that's right before right after London market opened up. And we found a little bit of a bottom, and we got a wick coming up, and this is our bearish volume head. Okay, so can we break out of this hourly parallel bearish trend? Here's the trend line. There's the hourly resistance. It's building off of that green box again. See how it came down, and then it held, and now it's got a nice big bullish candle. Some traders will buy the next candle, like right off of this. But if you do that, just keep in mind that yes, you could go make a few pips, but you're coming right up to there, and that could be hourly resistance and trend line. Maybe you trade into 50% of that candle right there, and then they reject it back down. Okay, so if you're taking that, just know if you're a small time scalper, like right there, if you bought this candle now and it comes up there, you're looking at about 15 pips, and then it could get rejected and come back down. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is wait for volume to close above this white line and the parallel channel. At least then you know that you got some bullish volume that's breaking out of here and can close above, and maybe use this as support and then get more momentum to continue to come up here. And then you can get a bigger move than just 15 pips, okay? But look at the response, okay? So it opened, it came back up, and it's a lower high from that previous bullish candle, and now it's coming down, okay? So you can see that the selling pressure is still very strong. Even though we had a nice wick that came in there got those pending orders and came back up and closed with some blue volume. The next bar is still open bearish and coming down here, okay? So when it's kind of like this, maybe let it consolidate and figure out, well, the sellers close it below here. And again, this sometimes the way how I trade is not for everybody, and I can't sit here and explain it to everybody every single day. If it comes down here and you get into a short sell, like a scalpers, this is what they're looking for, okay? Just to come down here and maybe get to fill those wicks and maybe get into the green box and grab 25 pips. And that's it, okay? I don't understand why this is so difficult for scalpers to understand. If you're coming in here, you got yourself 25 pips, but you're coming in a big green zone at the low of the day, okay? So for this to do what most sellers want it to do this, it's not that easy to do that, okay? There's got to be at least some news, or there's got to be something in the markets that to cause that, right? So naturally, it wants to come in there. Maybe you get 25 pips, and when it comes in there, the buyers are there. Like it comes in there, and then it could just go right back out of there. If you want to hold that trade, then what you got to do is you got to continue to, maybe come and do something like this, and then maybe they'll close it below there, and then you'll get that bigger move. But sometimes it's not just easy to just do that. There's a lot of buyers waiting in here, okay? And there's still good buyers holding this zone. That's not breaking. See the sellers? If you're trying to sell gold right now, you're probably getting frustrated because you came down there with a bearish candle, it looked good, and then it closed back above there. Then it came down with this bearish one and it looked great, and you're getting excited again, and then look at what they do to you. Then they bring it right back up. So you can see how this 5-minute support is still holding higher low from even coming near this green zone. So it's still very strong. This candle is going to close in 2 minutes. Is this the candle that's going to close above here? And we're continuing to push up with this momentum, okay? So I'm watching this body. You're welcome to take a buy if you want. But again, just understand it's an impulse buy that, yes, you can grab a few pips, but we don't know what will happen up here. It could get rejected back down, okay? Unless you have intuition and you like what you see here, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, then maybe you see that and then you're in the buy earlier and you're in the profit right now and you're following this volume. Okay, but if you're not in, do you want to get in now or do you want to wait? Okay, so that's the hardest part of trading is, do I buy now or do I wait? And then the next candle it's not as easy, okay? Because then it could be an ignited bar that just goes. Do you take it right away or do you try and wait for a pullback? All of these things, okay? That's why trading is not easy. That's why you got to stick to a well-defined plan every single day when you trade. Okay, so gold is just, consolidating maybe till we get to 8 a.m. Maybe we get close to COMEX. But just again, it made a higher high. So, when it just poked its head up there, it's above that wick. So it did create a higher high for this leg. Okay, what I'm looking at from here, back down, higher low, new higher high right there. I know it's lower than over here because this is higher time framing. Okay, that's why it's in this parallel hourly channel. Okay, we're trying to break through it right now, and it's not easy to do that. Here's the close. Did any bullish volume close above here? Let's see. No. Okay, so next bullish candle can physically fill that wick and then break out. That's still an impulse breakout. If it pulls back, will it pull back into 50% of the volume and hold that volume? Okay, so this is now an open, nice, bullish, ignited. It's backfilling that previous wick. Now, will it create a new? Okay, that's perfect. So it did create the new higher high. Will this be the body that physically closes out of this parallel bearish channel and above that hourly white line, that resistance line? Will it turn it into support if it closes above there? And while that candle is closing, just want to say good morning to everyone. Welcome everyone on Zoom. Samuel, good morning. Conrad, Ferdinand, James, Daniela, Bruce, Lukeman, Lady Stone, Pramilo, Ephraim, Dale, welcome guys. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Everyone on YouTube as well, thank you for joining. Good morning to you guys. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, we do appreciate it. Welcome. Father Doug, welcome. Ray, Hashindetya, welcome. Thank you for joining. Tony Gold, thank you for joining. Habibi, welcome. Shivam, welcome. Unithi, welcome. Shane, Trading with Confidence, welcome. Congratulations on your win, Trading with Confidence. And guys, we also have the winner we announced. So stay tuned for our next giveaway. Okay, so this is building, but you do have some 5-minute resistance right over here in the market. Is anybody in a buy? Is anyone selling gold right now? I'm just waiting for this candle to close here. Buys, latest one, nice. Let's see if we can get some volume closing above here. Maybe we'll have a new breakout. Okay, so this is going to close in 2 minutes. Okay, so one thing to just mention, it's breaking out of that hourly parallel channel. Okay, so that was that impulse. It got rejected. Okay, so will it hold its bullish open, that volume, or will it flip into like a bearish shooting star right now? So now you see it kind of impulsively broke above there and got faked out and coming back down. Okay, so that's the problem with taking impulse trades sometimes. Okay, now we're going to see, will it come back down to about 50% of that volume? Will it come even further down? Then we're back in that parallel channel, and then maybe sellers could continue to push it back down and test again this green box. But if that volume comes back up and closes above, then it shows me that the buyers are asking to trade up here and still creating a strong momentum to maybe continue to push out of here. So here we go. It's going to close in about 60 seconds. And it's 7:43, so that's telling me that we're getting close to 7:45. If you want to clean up all this 5-minute mess, go to your 15-minute candles, and this is what you got going on the 15s. So it came up nicely. 4 times it got rejected in there, and then it pushed back down. We're slowly coming up on the 15-minute volume. Will it close above there to continue with that 15-minute momentum, or is it going to come back down? Okay, so it's going to close in 43 seconds. You can watch whatever particular time frame you like. Some traders watch the 30 minutes. You got to wait another 15 minutes for the 30-minute close. Some traders like watching the 15 minutes. Then your candle is closing in the next 30 seconds. I enjoy watching the 5 minutes. So this 5-minute candle will be closing in the next 20 seconds. And some of you guys like 1-minute candles. The 1-minute candle will be closing in 18 seconds. So whatever floats your boat, just enjoy your time frames. Just use proper risk management, whatever time frame you trade. Okay, so here's the close. Are we going to get that closing volume above that hourly resistance coming through that parallel channel? We did. Okay, can we wait for a quick little pullback, or do we just enter right away? Okay, so I see it's bearish. Maybe it's pulling back and retesting that white line for support. Did it get a wick in there? Will it come back up to fill here? Okay, so right now it's retesting. Are we going to flag up here, or are sellers just going to slam this thing right back down? Okay, so it's a bearish candle pushing down. Are we going to get a higher low support? Okay, so you see now how it's retesting that trend line that was resistance. Now it could be support. That white line that was hourly resistance, it could technically be support, but right now that's still a big bearish candle that's engulfing all of the previous blue volume so far. It's only been 1 minute. Okay, it's still early in the candle, but it's bearish open. I'm just looking at my spreads right now. Take a look at your spreads as well. If you're looking to trade, what are your spreads? I've got my spread on gold right now is 0.4. Okay, so it's less than half a pip. That's a really good spread for scalping. Okay, so we caught a wick. Is this candle going to flip back up bullish? Or is it going to hold that bearish head? 3 minutes to go. US Treasury Secretary Bessent, again, is in the news right now talking. Okay, so if you see the financial juice screen to my left there, saying tariffs on August 12 deadline in China. We will be in talks Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so we got a good retest. Okay, holding a higher low. Can we flip this candle with 2.5 minutes to go? So that's the second half of this candle. It's a 5-minute candle. So we're at the halfway point. Who's going to have the momentum going, closing the second half of this candle? The buyers or the sellers going to come back in? So now they brought it right back to the opening position and we're turning into maybe a hammer candle. So I'm going into a buy. I'm going to test it out to see if we got enough bullish momentum volume to continue to ask to trade into this red box, and maybe we can break out of this red box. So I'm just going to place my stop loss, below this green zone where all of those wicks are, because that's showing me every time it comes down here, there's good support. So I'm just putting my stop loss, protective stop right below there. And then we're going to look to break out of that red box. And where could we go? Now I just look above the red box. Just a nice point of interest is right here, right there. See where it came up earlier and then back down. So I could be looking for that red, that's not getting a big R&R for where my stop loss is. So maybe I got to go up to that hourly white line to get a little bit more than a 1-to-1. If it can go up there and close above there, and then I make this green zone red to green, then I'm going to slowly start reducing my risk in the trade as I'm building structure with this. Okay, so we'll see. I'm in a buy. What can happen with this thing? Okay, if it comes above this red box, about 10 pips. If it can get up to that red, we're looking about 20, and then maybe hopefully we can drive up to that hourly. But this is resistance. I'm buying into resistance, and it could very well get knocked down and come right back down. Okay, so that's why, can we get some volume, first candle, to close above this red zone so that I can momentarily flip the red zone green, and maybe it will make a higher low support and continue to drive up. Okay, but this candle is closing in 30 seconds. It's a beautiful candle. It opened bearish, came down. We picked up that higher low. As soon as it came back to the opening price of this candle, that's when I bought. Okay, and then it flipped for 10 pips. I've encountered 0 drawdown so far, but who knows? Maybe it might come down bearish. Next candle could come down bearish engulfing and come all the way right back down. But let's see relative to how we close. Are we closing right at the high? Are we going to close right at the end and we open with an ignited bullish candle breaking through this red zone? No. See how it opened red? Okay, so there was, black, sorry, bearish, but in the red zone. We opened in that red zone and pushing down. Now, can we at least hold 50% of that bullish candle? Okay, it broke it a little bit. We got a wick. Can it build? There's the nice response we got. So short wick, can we fill it and then just start to break out naturally through here? Okay, so you see how it's struggling just to fill that wick, and then it keeps coming down. But that's the response I want. As soon as it came down bearish, right away they picked it up. It was a higher low, but we're just struggling to break that high. So we've got to turn this candle into a hammer and then continue to break out of here. But this is a red zone. That's why it's struggling right now, because there's a lot of offers in there. The buyers are doing their job. They're asking to trade up there. I love it, but there's just a lot of sell orders. Now we finally filled all those orders and we're breaking out now, okay? So to the top there, like I said, So 11, 12 pips, for someone like that, they say it's nothing, right? But for a scalper, 11, 12 pips, you hit 5 of those a day, you got 50 pips. Could be a daily goal. But notice how there was minimal to zero drawdown, okay? So there we go, maybe 15. I'd like to hit that red line up there. That would be nice, okay? Because then we're coming up to that previous resistance right there, okay? And then this could be the body that actually physically closes above here, and then we'll flip this zone red to green, and we'll see maybe we'll build some support off of this thing. There we go, okay? And you can reduce your risk at any time, whenever you like, okay? That's up to you. See that response? Now we're getting volatility. See how it came all the way up there and then they slammed it all the way right back down? That's volatility, because you're coming into new chartered territory up here. You're coming into higher time frame area. There's bigger sellers as you go to higher time frames. And their response was, when it broke out of there impulsively, they slammed it back down. Okay, so now it might come back down to retest this area. Okay, remember this area, that white line was that hourly resistance, and right there, that could be where it wants to come back and retest this area. Okay, so we got half the candle expired. Again, the second half looks like the sellers are in control. Okay, but technically it broke for that higher high, broke through there. Remember, we got to make higher highs in order to continue to go back up. But lots of sellers there. Doesn't surprise me that there's a lot of sellers by a red zone or above it. They're there. They were there over here too. When we broke through there, they were there, and they pushed the market all the way down to there. So we're slowly building, okay? But big response by the sellers, pushing it back down. Where will this final volume close? I don't know. We'll figure it out in less than 2 minutes. Will it close exactly in the red zone? Will the buyers close it back above there? Are the sellers going to close it down there? We'll figure it out when it closes. That's the part of trading, is you just got to continue to go with the trend, what you feel is the right trend. I know some of you guys are selling. Some of you guys are buying. Welcome to the world of trading. I know how it works. For every buyer, there's going to be a seller. For every seller, there's going to be a buyer. That's how you transact. But sometimes you're going to be on the right side of the trend. Sometimes you're going to be on the wrong side of the trend. All you can do is, again, just manage your risk. Okay, so far it's looking good. The buyers are still asking. Okay, they're doing good. They're doing their work, Like that was a pretty bearish candle, the way how it came down there. But the buyers are doing their work. They're there. Okay, you can't fault the buyers. They're asking up there. It's just, can they have the follow through to close with that momentum and near the highs and continue squeeze the sellers? But the sellers are there too, so they're pushing it down. So this is the battle of this zone. Trading is not easy. It's a battle of buyers and sellers, especially when you get to these well-defined zones. Okay, so this could go either way now. And you see that the candles can maybe closing with some indecision. Okay, had a lot of buyers, we saw it, had a lot of sellers. It came back up with a lot of buyers, and then now the sellers are pushing it back down. So this is kind of where you get a coin toss. But ultimately, it's going to matter where the final volume closes. And it's very strategic too, sometimes, where they close the volume. Like you'll see a bearish candle close right below the red box, or you'll see a bullish candle close right below above it. Okay, so there's the close. Looks like a bearish spin top. So just that little tiny bit of bearish volume, that's all the algorithm needs. And then could now start to trigger in more offers and start to push this thing back down. So that's a pretty big wick to fill. So the buyers, to fill that, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of momentum. It takes a lot of volume. They're still there. But coming all the way up there, they might get tired. They might get exhausted. And then a seller pushes it right back down. So we still don't have bullish volume closing above here yet. So I cannot, make this a green zone as of yet. Okay. My chart is delayed. Then join the SST and join the Zoom. I don't think there's a delay there. I can't help YouTube delay. We've got it on ultra low latency. If it's delayed on your system, I'm sorry. Okay, so you see what I mean, guys? The size of the wick matters. That's why I want to do that webinar crash course with you guys this week, because that's not a short wick. That was a rather long wick, the one previous. So our buyers were there. They were looking real positive. They were looking good. But it takes a lot of energy to backfill that wick and then create a new high. It takes a lot of momentum. If that was a short wick and we had that volume that we just had, we would have been flying right now, okay? But there's a lot of resistance. I talk about this analogy all the time. If you go outside and you start to sprint, I don't know, like I'm saying for myself, not you guys, I'm speaking for myself. I'm older now. I'm not that 20-year-old kid that could run for hours and, go. I can go for 100 meters and then I'm huffing and puffing and I need a joint. And then once I smoke it, I can continue to go. But that's this thing. Like that came up there, it lost its breath, it came back down, it caught its breath, and now it doesn't have its second wind and to continue to push above there. Okay, but remember what I'm looking at. I'm looking, are we going to get our first body of volume closing above there while I'm in this trade and I haven't got stopped out? That's what I'm looking at. It's nice to be in profit right now, 15 pips. It's beautiful. If you want to grab your money and get out, that's fine. But in order to turn trades into 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 pips, you got to continue to follow the structure. It's not easy. Okay, so you see we're filling back up. Can we break for a new high? And then that's that red line resistance right there where I've got those points of interest of those bodies right there. Okay, now we got 90 seconds to go into the close. We're looking good on buy side, but you got to continue to create a higher high to support this move. Otherwise, you might get some consolidation or you get more sellers coming in the market. So when that candle body came up there, again, they rejected it back down. That's technically a lower high, and they're there. So see where they're fighting? Where will this body close? Above this red zone or below this red zone? Or inside of it too? And we're going into 8 a.m. in 40 seconds, So get ready for some momentum coming in, okay? I'll throw up, guys, on stream if I saw tweezer top highs. So we broke out for the higher high, but get ready for 8 a.m. because all kinds of shit happens on the new hourly candle. Maybe you guys got to see what I go through every single day, where you see it then just dump it at 8 a.m. Watch. Or maybe we'll get lucky and we'll catch a nice bullish candle and we'll get out of here. But ultimately, what I'm looking at is where this body is going to close. Is it closing above or below this red zone? Okay, we made our higher high. That's important to continue to push up. Here's 8. Okay, so I'm going red to green. We opened up, small pullback. Okay, and do we have enough maybe at 8 a.m. to break out of here? Or are they going to bring it all the way back down? And then we got to retest this green box. Okay, that was the first body that closed above it. So if it has to come back down to retest it, maybe our support is there. Maybe we're going to continue to push out. There we go, 25 pips. Okay, so we broke out of there. This could be that hourly. There we go. Okay, I'm going down to a break even now. There we go, break even. May possibly take out up to there was 30, 32, 33 pips. But if it can get up to that hourly white line, you're looking about 35, 40 pips up there, okay? But at 30 pips, I'm going to take out 80%. I'm doing my 80-20 rule. Okay, so I'm taking out 80% now and leaving 20% running with break even. Okay, I want to make some money. I want to eat too, just like you guys. So I'm taking out 80%, already taken out at 30 pips, and leaving 20% running. Now what we got to watch for is if it comes back down for education purposes, let's see if we'll get buyers in our green zone, like right here. If it comes down, I'm still in a runner, I'm still invested, but this is how I continue to educate myself with my runner. If it comes back down in here, I want to see, will my runner hold? Will this zone turn like how it was red into green, and then we come back up? And then if it does, I'm constantly learning on a daily basis, even with my runner. I know it's only 20% running, but then it strengthens all this waiting for that bullish candle to close. If it comes back in here, will that red zone turn to a green zone? Then maybe I learned a new pattern, I learned a new strategy, and then I can use that tomorrow when I'm trading. So that's how you can constantly continue to learn. Okay, hit the likes, guys, on YouTube. If you guys caught a few pips, if you learned something, it helps us. It helps grow the channel here, guys. Okay, but just understand that we still have a lot of bearish volume still in that big daily body candle. We've got a beautiful wick forming on the daily, but still this got a big head of bearish volume that could easily push this thing down. Okay, so that's why I don't get greedy. Obviously, I want more than 30 pips. I want 50 pips. I want 100 pips. I want 200, just like you. But sometimes trading doesn't work that way. Okay, you can still see that buy. We're still counter trading this overall trend. That's a lower high, lower highs. That was a lower high. Believe it or not, that big, beautiful candle right up there is still a lower high, and it's below our hourly resistance. That's why when it was coming up there, I saw the hourly resistance, and I said, I'm going to take out 80%. Okay, and I don't play the game with, I should have done that, I would have done that, I could have done this. I trade the same style every single day. That's what keeps me disciplined. It keeps me putting money in my pocket and keeps me going in these markets every single day. And maybe for you guys got to go through this to figure this out for yourself. Hold on to trades. Guys, you guys remember that MicroStrategy trade where I was up $15,000 US? I got greedy. I wanted it to go to 400. It went to 455 a share. I bought in at 420. I wanted it to go to 475. I was up 15,000 US, and then it couldn't break that resistance, and it came all the way down and it hit my trailing stop loss at $4,000 profit. So I basically pissed away $11,000 US because I got greedy. Guys, I don't like to leave money on the table. I don't know about you guys, but I don't. And it really, really upsets me leaving money on the table when all you had to do was just click a button and you can cash out. I know everyone wants every trade to go to the moon, and that's going to be the trade that you're going to retire on. Okay. But I had to get that out of my head, because it will come back and it will haunt you. And that's what trading will do to you guys. It really mentally fucks your head when you're talking about money, okay? And it's up to you guys what you want to do, okay? If you want to hold and hold and hold, sometimes you're going to go up and then it will come slamming right back down to where you entered. The market knows where you entered. The market knows. If they want to come down here, no problem. They will come down. Lee, the runner is nice and happy and keeps you on your way. It helps me mentally. It helps me psychologically. That runner, as long as it continues to go, it keeps me, mentally sane. But it's tough when you're going all the way out and then it comes slams down and you haven't done anything. I'm talking as a scalper, guys. I'm not talking as a swing trader, but things like that. But as a scalper, it sucks, because you got a nice move here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 nice bullish candles. You're up approximately 30 pips. You've been waiting for this trade to develop for over an hour. You finally hit it, and then you want more and more and more, and then it slams back down. It's demoralizing. It could really affect the way how you continue to trade. It will really, really ruin your mindset. Okay, guys, are we good with this? Do you guys understand why I went in? Like, we were saying, do we want to educate or do we want to live trade on these calls? I don't really care. It's up to you guys what you guys want to do. But that's why education is important, guys. So you guys know why I bought that. Okay, there was a break of trend. It was that right here. Like, look at it, guys. Now we're moving beautifully. Okay, so I hope the runner continues to go. That's 40 pips. Okay, and again, maybe this 5-minute volume will close above this white line. Remember, that's hourly resistance. See here in the past right here where we got rejected just before midnight, 11:45, 11:50, 11:55. Start at midnight. Look at how they hourly reversal midnight. They fake those buyers in, buying the high end, and they slammed it down on them. Now we're reversing. We just broke out from that 12 a.m. We're creating that high. So will this 5-minute volume close above that hourly white line, and momentarily will this be support going forward? Okay. Where can we go? Yeah, I would love if this could go all the way to that yellow line, to that daily position, 3,396, but it's got a lot of hard work to get it up there. That's 45 pips right now. Okay, so let's see where this body will close. Will it close above that hourly white line and it will make support going forward? Maybe we pull back, we build off this, and then we're continuing to drive to that daily point of position. Nice, Samuel. You got your stop loss and 10 pips of profit. Perfect. It's always nice when you can get a trailing runner. And then maybe, Samuel, if it moves up 10 pip increments, maybe just move your stop loss up 10 pip increments, something like that. But we should be moving up 50 pips now, guys. Okay, sorry, I was just explaining that. So, guys, it was just, the parallel bearish hourly channel. And then you see there how we kind of made a little higher low right there, higher low double bottom. Did we come back in the low of the day, big green box? No. I saw all those 5-minute candles grabbing all those wicks. Remember, they turned bearish and they looked scary. They were bearish candles. But I said, guys, wait and see. Are the sellers going to close it below there? As soon as I saw those wicks come up, and then right there, kind of breaking that candle, physically closed right there. Guys, 740. It physically closed above that hourly parallel channel. And then I waited for it to open. It came down and it retested. As soon as it came right back up, that's when I bought. I bought basically the candle that closed. I bought the retest. It came down. As soon as it went right there, that's where it was my buy. Zero drawdown. Didn't, because I waited for it to come down. I saw my confirmation. I went in. Remember, I placed a larger stop loss below here, below all of those wicks, just to be safe, because I see it came down there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in there, held support. That was where you can place a stop loss. I didn't have to place it down all the way down there. I could have placed it 50% of that candle. That they could have came and tagged me out right there and then continued to drive. So I placed it below there. As soon as it started to move up 30 pips, I took my stop loss, went to break even, scaled a little bit of profit, 80%, and then leave the runner moving, right? If you held the entire trade, congratulations, that's perfect. But sometimes it comes up and will slam back down for the retest. So, like sometimes I like to take out money, and if it comes back down to retest, I'll buy back in. But at least I clear some money up there. Okay, so there's the close. It did physically close above that hourly white line. Now it's been resistance since midnight. So maybe this is going to turn into support, okay? You could maybe find 50% of that candle right there. See that wick that we just had the low and in that previous high? I know it's a big zone, but that could be where you got a little bit of a fair value gap zone. And maybe it will come in here, hold as support, and curl back up and continue to drive up to that daily point of interest. Okay. And that's where our opening day candle was, right here. That was the opening day of our candle. So it opened right there it had an initial bullish move, which made that high wick, and then we came all the way back down to that low, and we're coming now back up. So there's this much bearish volume left in today's candle. It's just from right here to that yellow line. If the buyers can come back to the opening position, we could flip this daily candle and turn it into a bullish pin bar. But there's going to be possibly a lot of sellers stepping in that are protecting the opening price of gold and want it to come down bearish and backfill this wick. So if it comes down there, if the sellers come all the way down, then my trade the 20% goes to a break even. But if we can start to break out here, I'll take out another 10% out at 50 pips plus, and then just leave 10% running to try and get back up to the opening price today. Okay, but do you see the first wick? Where's the wick? It's right at the white line. Look at it, guys. Okay, I placed that white line from earlier when we did our top-down analysis. Now look at the retest. It came down bearish, bearish, bearish. Look at where it grabbed its wick. Right exactly at that white line. The buyers are there. That was a zone flip. You can see how structure flipped with the close of that volume. So now it's just the first retest. It might have to come in there multiple times, but that's still good. As soon as you get your retest and it comes up, if the buyers are continuing to ask, we could get another high breakout, okay? But that's just to show you the first touch went from resistance to support. Will it hold? I don't know. There's still 2.5 minutes to go. That's a lot of time, okay? But I'm just showing you the first retest held. And we also have Powell speaking at 8:30, yeah. Father Doug, you got $180 with a standard lot. Very nice. And we've got Comex opening up in 7 minutes. Okay, so maybe Comex will bring it down. Maybe, who knows? Comex might give us good bullish volume, and we're going to continue to fill back up to the opening position. Guys, we got 250 viewers on YouTube. We just hit a 50 pip trade with 0 drawdown. I'm going to take a look at the likes. I hope they're bullish engulfing. Let's have a look here. Wow, 82 likes, guys. I'm dipping out of YouTube. 82 likes with 250 viewers, and we hit a 50 pip trade with 0 drawdown, and we walk you through it, and we can't get any likes. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I got to have a talk with Dave. I don't know if I can continue to do this on YouTube, guys. It's just, there's no motivation to continue to do this. I'm sorry, guys. I'll have a discussion with Dave this weekend to continue this. I really want to, but it's, 33%. I'm a percentage guy. It's ridiculous. For everything we offer here, it's just, it's sad. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'll have a big discussion with Dave over the weekend. We'll sit down, we'll smoke a joint, we'll have a drink, and we'll figure this out. But this is no motivation to be here, guys. I'm being honest. I'm being truthful with you guys. Like, I don't want to beg. I'm not like a guy on the street homeless begging for likes. Like, it should just be standard. You come in, you like what we do, and it's good. Okay, so guys, we got a good close on that candle, but now you might see multiple retests of this zone. Hopefully we keep building higher lows, and we keep asking to trade up here, and then we get a continuation. But we're at 50 pips. Like close to 50. That's a good amount to scale out some profit up there. I'm going to close out 10% more, okay? So then I'll only leave 10% running right there, okay? So I just closed out another 10%. I only had 20% running, but I closed out 10. and leaving only 10 more to go. Okay. So guys, if it can get up to that daily point of interest, that's about 70 to 75 pips up there. And look at the daily candle. I don't know if you guys are watching the daily candle, but if you have a daily candle turning into a bullish pin bar, watch what will happen. You know, like keep an eye on this too. Pretty good, guys. But please, manage your risk. Okay, that's 60 pips profit. At least be at a break even. If you're not at a break even, you guys are crazy. Okay, I'm telling you the honest truth. If you guys haven't gone to a break even when you're up 60 pips in a trade, you guys got some issues. You guys got some shit to do. You got some research. You got some education to go over. And if you're not protecting your capital when you're up 60 pips in profit, I have no idea how to help you guys. I'm clueless. Okay, that's where I'm putting in the white flag, and there's nothing else I can do here. But if you're not at a break even, then what you're going to do is you're risking 60 pips of profit, but then it could be a momentum killer, because not only are you going to give back 60 pips of profit, you might go down 50 pips in a loss. That's like 110 pips swing. That will destroy you as a trader. And that's when you're going to start revenge trading. You're going to get so upset. I can't even tell you how it's going to mentally destroy you. Okay. So, but that's up to you. You guys do what you got to do. Okay. I've kind of came to the realization that there's some stuff that Dave and I cannot help you guys with. Okay, guys, we're 2 minutes away from COMEX market open. So, this is when you kind of want to maybe think about managing your trade, whether you're going to a break even, whether you're closing some profit, or you're letting it ride. We're going to roll the dice and let it ride. That's up to you. Okay. I told you what I did, but it's up to you what you guys do. Lee, the stop loss was only around 30 pips, so you have already made 2R if you didn't take partials already. Yeah, it's not bad. Remember, I was just looking for kind of a 1-to-1 Lee, and then it turned out to be a 1-to-2. So sometimes you'll get those. I look at my trades, Lee, as the minimal drawdown. Okay, I did place my unrealized stop loss a little lower than I usually do, but normally when I'm scalping, Lee, on this bar and that bar, I'm already at a break even. I go real quick when I'm scalping the 1 minutes. And we didn't watch these on the 1 minutes, but I'm much, much quicker to going to break even on the 1 minute. Sometimes within the one candle that I trade on the 1 minutes. Like if I take a 1 minute trade and it goes up 10, 15 pips in that 1 minute, I'm already at a stop loss. Guys, we have a poll on YouTube. If we get 250 likes, someone can win a free 7-day trial with SST. That's pretty good. Hey, we might have a lucky winner for a 1-week trial of SST. All we got to do is get 250 likes. I'll leave that up to you guys. Okay, look, here's COMEX. We opened bullish ignited. Okay, how long can we hold that ignited open? Okay, so I'm still holding it. Look where my cursor is. We're driving. Okay, this is now COMEX volume. We're still holding that bullish ignited open. If we can grab that yellow line, that's about 70 plus pips, 70 to 75 pips, 73 to be exact. And you're coming right back to the opening position of gold today. Holy shit, okay? We just witnessed a bearish candle coming right back to the opening. There it is. Guys, that's a full TP for me. I trade very disciplined. That's a tape to tape. I'm closing my entire trade. That last 10%, I'm taking out. That's a tape to tape trade from white tape to yellow tape. That's as sexy as it gets. Okay? For a tape to tape trader. If you're old school like me, that's a full TP. I don't give a shit. I don't even need a runner to continue go. I've already hit my daily goal. That's beautiful. Wow. Okay? Guys, wow. Okay? So I don't have any more skin in the game. I don't have any more runners, nothing. If you guys are still with this, your next zone is that big red box above there. Where do we get that big red box? That's about 110, 111 pips. That's up here, guys. That's where this whole downtrend started at 7:30 p.m. yesterday, just before the futures market. We kind of retraced that whole move, and coming up there, guys, that could be a 100 pip monster. And then also, guys, okay, I don't stop. Like I'm like a robot. If this volume closes above, the yellow line could turn into daily support, right? That's a daily point of interest coming out of COMEX. This might dictate the way how gold trades today. So, I'm not going to stop trading. I'm going to trade later on, but you got to pick up on clues. What happens? Maybe we just impulsively break through here and we lose that and it comes back down. But you can see now the daily candle is going to battle now with buyers and sellers jockeying for this opening position, 3,397. And so far, the buyers have control of it. Yeah, approaching 3,400, Lukeman, right there. Exactly, 3,400. That's that psychological level, That's where a lot of transactions could happen, and there could be a shit ton of sellers up there. Okay, that's that big red zone. Look at what they did in the past. They sold all in there, back down. It came in right prior to the futures. They swept the liquidity, and then they slammed it down. We're now retracing back up in there, but are we going to, if this happens today, if the buyers come all the way, create a new high, a bullish hammer candle, and it closes above there, it could retest this, and then you're driving back up to the next tape, 3410. Holy guys, that's we had bullish volume. I think the hourly, when you look at the hourly, the picture looks clear here. Okay, see the hourly? Remember that bearish channel that we did when we were doing our top-down analysis, this bearish trend? See that hourly candle right there, 7 a.m., closed above that hourly parallel channel. And look at, we basically milked the whole 7:30, 8:30 candle right here, just coming all the way up to that resistance right there. So this hourly candle is closing in 36 minutes. It's got volume to maybe continue to break out of this zone, fill that wick and break out. And you flip the daily candle into a bullish daily hammer and could continue to drive. Holy shit, guys. Fuck. Look at the bullish ignited open from COMEX. We got all of that. Oh my God, we ate that whole candle. that whole move. Oh, fuck. Scotty, I should have held that break even. Oh man, don't start this mind shit with me. Because you guys are going to confuse me on these calls, man. Scotty, I need to join, bro. I made this room. It's soundproof. I just put the door on yesterday. The glass door finally came. See that vent? I don't know if you can see it up there. That vent, it's a Panasonic vent. It was like $1,000 vent. It will suck all the smoke right in there. And it's quiet too for the stream. And it takes all the smoke right outside the house. I can't wait to smoke the first cigar and smoke the first J in here. I'm going to test it out when the kids are not here, just to make sure everything is good to go. The wife doesn't know about it, so guys, don't tell my wife. Don't rat me out, please. And oh man, this shit's gonna be funny. You'll probably have my wife come in here and screaming at me, but it's gonna be good for. Maybe we'll get some likes. Maybe we'll get some clicks on YouTube for that. But guys, wow, that's 30. Holy shit, that was a good, solid move by the buyers. Okay. And I saw some of you guys were selling. And guys, that's trading. Sometimes I'm buying, you guys are selling. Sometimes I'm selling, you guys are buying. That's the nature of the game. You know what I mean? But that's why you got to have good, proper risk management when you're trading. Okay. I don't like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to keep talking about this gold trade? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, do you guys want to start doing some analysis on NASDAQ and US30 and start getting ready? But it's up to you guys what you guys want to do with that. I've hit my daily goal with that gold move. Oh yeah, we got news soon. Let's stick with gold because we got Powell coming up. 8:45 is when we do our transition into NASDAQ and US30. But guys, just a reminder, we got Powell speaking in a couple minutes here. Okay, what is it? He's due to deliver his opening remarks at the Integrated Review of Capital Framework for Large Banks conference hosted by the Federal Reserve in Washington. Okay, you guys all know who Fed Chair Powell is. You guys know he's in a little bit of drama with Donald Trump right now. Donald Trump wants to get rid of him. He wants him to cut rates. He's not cutting rates right now. It's all his fault. Donald Trump is blaming him for everything. And just leave Papa Powell alone. Leave Gramps alone. Stop messing with Gramps. This man's paid our bills for multiple years here. Okay, even Bissett is saying right here at 8:03, I see no reason for Powell to step down. I hope he doesn't step down. Okay, I hope he's not pressured by Trump and Trump is bullying him, because that's Gramps. You don't mess with Gramps. That's Grandpa Powell. When he turns that printer on, we all make money. Samuel, my pleasure. Congratulations. Closing that trade. Good. A solid risk management, Samuel. Oh, James, that would be epic. If Powell opens like with the Wolf of Wall Street speech directed at Trump, we ain't fucking leaving. That's it. I'll do a marathon, 24 hours, if he does that. That would be epic. He's throwing fun coupons. Printing US dollar and throwing fun coupons. Okay, guys, so we're about a minute 45 away from Powell's speech. We're trading at 3,400. It doesn't get any more psychological than that. And we're trading in this red zone. We flipped the daily candle into a bullish pin bar, approaching a hammer. Holy, okay. Look at that retest too, okay. Just studying things. That pullback, was that in 50% of that big bullish COMEX market open candle? This is where you can learn. Back testing live. Like, just test that right there. From the open to close, look at it. It retested 0.5 exactly of that candle. That's what I mean, guys. This 50% shit, it's been working for me for over 20 years, okay. So if you want a simple trading strategy, just do that, okay? We can get our kids in here and they can do this too. It's not complicated, okay? If you're overcomplicating trading, I don't know why you're doing this. I keep trading very simple and very stupid. Simple, stupid, where I can do it every single day with one eye open, okay? And hopefully you guys are understanding the power of the point of control of that 50% zone. Okay, even if you wanted to catch a pullback, for example, like maybe you missed out on this run, right there, you could have bought that pullback right there. You would be up right now. Okay, you didn't even have to hit a market execution. You could have had a pending order that got activated, and that was a 30 pip candle from the wick to the wick. That's 30 pips. Okay, so now again, bullish ignited open. Okay, so they're hunting for stop losses. They're squeezing the short sellers. Anytime you're in a buy and you're getting bullish ignited opens, you're benefiting from it. Anytime you're in a sell and you get these bearish ignited opens, you can continue to go down with it, and then you just mark 50% of the previous candle. Okay, but wow, holy shit. Okay, that's about 125 pips. Bronson, that's your strategy, the pullbacks? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with pullback trading. I know a shit ton of traders, Bronson, that make a lot of money just buying pullbacks, selling the pullbacks when it's a trending market, and that's all you got to do. They don't feel comfortable doing counter trading, so they just constantly wait. Bro, wait with alerts at those 50% levels. Just sit and wait. You don't have to sit at the computer all day. It'll come back down eventually. You get triggered in, and then you go have a peek at it. If you like it, you take it. But just do pullback trading, guys. It works. It works. That's what I was trying to do with gold yesterday, but it didn't work out because it kept pumping. I was waiting for that pullback, and then that's when we were saying, are we educating here or are we live trading? Obviously, we're live trading, but I don't want to buy the highest point of a move. I want to get those discount pullbacks, but sometimes you don't get them. That's fine, but you just got to not force trades and just continue to wait it out. Okay, so Powell is speaking right now. I don't know what he's saying. I'm not listening in, but he could impact the markets the way they move. Okay, so he is talking right here. The Fed is a dynamic institution open to hearing new ideas and feedback on how to improve capital framework for large banks. So if you see over here on Financial Juice, we'll see what Powell is saying. Okay, if you're listening in, you can listen in, but we have it right there. Okay. We'll stick with gold for another 10-15 minutes, and then we got to move over to NASDAQ and US30. I'm going to take a break too. I got to go to the washroom and grab a drink, and I will be back. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick little break. Guys, 5 minutes. As soon as I come back, then we'll continue to watch what's going on here. We'll move into NASDAQ and US30, and we'll get ready for Wall Street, okay? But try not to piss away all this profit if you're still got it running over 100 pips, 125. Don't go throw this all away in Wall Street. Just secure some. I've already hit my daily goal. I don't even need to trade anymore. But if I wasn't with you guys, I would be on my way doing other things. Okay, so I'm just going to go take a break. I'll see you guys in just a couple minutes. Okay, we back. We back. See how that green box is still holding right now? See how it's still playing out? Wick, still holding, consolidating. We might have a bull flag breakout continue to go. Okay, guys. So the plan is we're going to move over to do NASDAQ and US30. Get ready for Wall Street. Papa Powell is speaking right now. What's he saying? Let's see, just quick over. We must ensure parts of capital framework work together. We need large banks to be free to compete with one another, with non-banks, and with banks in other jurisdictions. Banking conferences. Okay, so he's probably talking about banking and things like that. But again, if he starts going into monetary policy, if he starts talking about interest rates, tariffs, I don't know if he will, but maybe he will, and that will affect the markets right now. Okay, so pretty good move, guys, on that gold trade. It is really nice. Okay, up to 125, 130 pips. Hopefully you guys got something of that. Whether you profited or not, whether you took the trade, it doesn't matter. Hopefully you learned something from that. That's why, guys, the importance I stress about a top-down analysis. It can lead to the success of your trading. Okay, you're doing a top-down. You're figuring out your better levels, your higher levels of points of interest. That's why it's always good to do a good, thorough top-down analysis, okay? If you guys don't mind, I'm going to move over to the indices. If you guys can leave us a like and we can continue moving forward, we do appreciate it, guys. It's just mutual respect. What we do for you guys, you show us respect with a like and help grow the channel. We're on a goal to hit 100,000 subscribers, get verified from YouTube to take us more serious, because there is a lot of shady traders out there that scam you guys and shit like that. Dave and we're really truly honest and want to help you guys. If we haven't proved to you guys over 6 years who we are, then I don't know what else to do. But it's fun when you grow the channel with us. You're part of it, and what more importantly is it helps us find traders around the entire world that want free education. Not everyone has the luxury that can join the team, and we understand that, but we still want to give back on a daily basis to those that can't afford a membership or something like that. So we do exactly what we do here, so that was our mission from day one, and we want to continue to do that, but it takes a little bit of your part to continue to do that, guys. Okay. Now, do you guys have any questions, or can we move on from gold? And I might come back and look at it, and then it's all the way down here. Okay, that could happen, but hopefully it doesn't. But you see how now there's a block right here that's developed. There's a block right here. See how we just came right into it? That was that 50%, a little bit above, a little bit below, and you see how it's still holding or still driving. Okay, so you can see now how these pullback areas, how they can turn into great areas of support and build when you've got a trending market, which we got right now. It's beautiful. Look at today's daily candle. It's going to flip into a hammer. Okay, so this is breakout territory. Are we going to drive all the way up to our next yellow tape, 3410? Fuck, if we do, that's amazing. But there's got to be some structure above this red box to the yellow line. Just go backwards. Continue going backwards. We will find it. Continue go backwards. See, I have nothing on the 5 minutes because we haven't traded in here in a long time. So 15 minutes. Right there it is, right there. So the last time we traded in here, it was an impulse move right over here. Look, okay, so you see where we're trading at? We're above the purple line right here. This was back in June 16, okay? So here we are. Wow, we're at 34.05 right now. So we're getting above this. Look at these wicks. That's where I was going to place my line right there. We're here. So now the next easy fill is right up to 34.10. Holy shit. And then today, if it goes above, here's your next there. That's where I would draw like another daily point of interest right there. 34.20 right there. Scotty, we got to smoke a joint, bro. It's calling us right there. There's 420 right there. That's Scotty, you got to blaze up right now, bud. Right there. Okay. That's Scotty's cue to put two joints in his mouth. That's our cue for Scotty. There you go, Scotty. The Scotty indicator. Anytime we hit 420, we all have to smoke a joint, okay? Look at that, guys. Oh my God, 160 pips. Now I feel like an idiot closing my trade. Wow, okay. Your next daily position is that yellow line. Again, go through the fundamental, go through the motions, okay? If we're playing basketball, you got to go through the motions. If this volume closes above the red box, you flip the red box green. This might turn into momentary support, how it did this green box. We never came down to retest this one. I guarantee you there's a shit ton of buyers saying, oh my God, why didn't I buy this? Now they're positioning themselves in here, right? That's what the depth of market is doing, okay? And if you're still in that, my goodness, okay? Congratulations. And hopefully this thing can go 200 bits. It did close above, so red to green, right? Just going through the motions. So if it pulls back in here, might hold some support and curl back up. But it's looking real bullish, okay? But now we got work to do, guys. It's 8:45. So let's get on to our other charts here. There was that big US30 drop, and look at, if you didn't do anything on that drop, right? If you didn't take out any money, look at what the market can do. It almost came right back up to exactly where it started. Now we're kind of maybe consolidating where possibly around the midpoint of it. But let's do again a top-down analysis. Okay, we're not just going to jump in and trade the 5 minutes. Let's do our analysis. Okay, so starting off on the daily again. A good top-down will set you up for success. A shitty top-down analysis will set you up with failure. So take your time to do a thorough analysis. For some traders, it can take 2 minutes. Others, it takes 20 minutes. However long it takes you, take your time. Okay? When you get in the habit of knowing exactly what you're looking for, you'll be doing these much faster. Okay? I can talk to you guys about different topics and still do this. I can talk to you guys about sports, and we can still figure out what areas to look for. Okay, it's not that complicated to do these things. But now, okay, so we've got all-time high supply up there. 2 times we hit it and it came back down. We came into this all-time high supply early June and continuing to push down and consolidate here. Now these are our daily candles. We're in a flag. Okay. Do we have a point of interest where it came down right down to there? Yeah, it's still holding. Do we have some good support building? I would say like right here is more of a major support area. I can see how many times I kind of traded in there and still holding right there. Okay. And then this looks to me like a fake out where it came down, it closed below. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, they came down and they brought it right back. And we're still trading in between the all-time high supply and this green zone right here that's holding. Today's candle will determine if maybe we close back below here and retest this and we're driving back down the rest of the week. Okay, continuing to trend down. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, maybe a new lower low, and then a lower high, and then the market drops. We fill that wick and then we're dropping down. Okay, so today we've already made a low wick in the green box. So are we going to flip today's daily candle and start to come back up here? Or are we going to lose this supporting area? Points of interest are those bodies below me right there. So I would have a yellow line right there. You could have more of a point of interest. You could place it right at that wick if you like, that definitely. But what I would be doing is I'm looking at 50% of that big body candle, that guy right there on this day, June 27, Friday. So if I'm looking at 50%, somewhere right around there. Remember, Ron just smoked something, so my eyes might be a little bit glazed right now. But I can grab my Fibonacci tool, because sometimes when if you don't smoke like me, make sure you go from the open to close. You see, even when you can smoke something, you can still see I was pretty accurate, okay? So there's 50% of that candle. I can go a little bit above. I can go a little bit below. Maybe I can catch that wick right there, okay? We're slowly moving up from that, okay? Do we have any other points of interest above us on these daily candles? I would go with, where do you have more bodies, okay? Right here. See there how I have a body, a wick, a body, okay? 44,525. good number. Maybe that's going to be our daily resistance. Okay, I see we've broken above it, impulse, broken above it, impulse, broke above it, impulse, broke above it, impulse, but no closing daily volume above that yellow line. And I see a lower high, see a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. So technically, there's a sellers pushing this move down. Okay, so we got to see if we can flip this and close with volume. And then if we do, we could be having a nice daily, weekly breakout back up to that all-time high supply. Okay, so let's follow our daily candle from yesterday and how it's moving today. So yesterday, yesterday the following day, Friday, we closed here. They gapped it down. We made a low. It was very bullish yesterday. We came up, but remember, daily candle takes 24 hours before it closes, and then it came right back down and closed right here. And today, let's see, is there any gaps in the markets? Okay, so there is a gap. Sorry, the gap was yesterday. Right here we closed, we opened 44,403, around that 400, that psychological level was where we had a bullish push already. Okay, that's what made our high of the day. And you can see the wick beside us from yesterday, it's a rather large wick. Remember what we were talking about on that gold trade. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of momentum, it takes a lot of volume to continue to fill that wick and then break out further. So it's not like it's a short wick. So we already made an attempt and it got already rejected early and they pushed it down back to the opening price. We came all the way down and we traded right into 50% of that green box. That's where our low of the day is. And found some support, found some buyers in there at 44,240, and it's coming all the way right back up to right here. We still have a daily bearish engulfing candle that's already engulfed yesterday's volume. Will it continue to push down and break and start to drop? Like for me as a scalper, if I'm trading, yes, if it does break, I would love, if I'm going to sell, I would love for it to come down here. But also 50% of this bullish candle, that's also a point of interest right there. So I'm just going to place my yellow line. I'm not going to use a Fibonacci there. And then the psychological number matches 44,102. I would say 100. Nice psychological number there. Okay. So now this is what we got going on the daily candle. I take a look at the overall. What we're looking at, we've got a really nice bullish trend, okay, on those daily candles. This could be a pullback, and we're ready to launch back to the upside, but we're not creating any new higher highs, okay? So we at least got to get some blue volume, just closing above these to build off of these. Sellers are still here, okay? So let's just break this daily candle down into the hourly now. Take a peek at the hourly. Okay, so I can see how it was trading last Thursday. This was last Friday, retraced back down, opening up this yesterday, like Monday. We came all the way right back up. See how it's pushing down? So you guys see how there's some hourly resistance now, right there. Maybe bring it down to those bodies. Okay, so that's an hourly red zone. Stretch it into the future. Are we ever going to come back up here? I don't know. We're moving away from it. Okay, so right over here, this was now 2 p.m. There was the power hour drop. Okay, and then we kind of came right back up. There's our high of the day right there, 2200. That's 10 p.m. And we started to drop down. Now I can go through each individual candle. There's midnight. There's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. There's London, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. had that big drop. That's what we made our low of the day. And look at where it found support. Right there at those hourly bodies right there. There's a body, and a wick right there. And you see how it got support exactly right there. And it came right back up. It closed as a bearish hanging man candle where you still have the bearish head. Do I have a point of interest on the hourly? I would place a line right here. White line. Right there, I can see that that's where that body closed above. We continued to push up. Here's where we came back down. We broke that white line, but it closed above it. We continued to push up. Here's where we broke. We closed right at it. The next bullish ignited candle opened at that white line. There was the retest. There was the break. There was the bearish ignited candle that dropped. So this white line, I know it's not too far away, 44,347, I would say 350 is acting as resistance. Can we get this afternoon or this morning? Can we get hourly volume pushing back up, closing above there, maybe retesting this white line, and then we could maybe trade up to that yellow daily point of interest, maybe back up to the high of the day? That could be a possibility. We could also come right up here and then it's a lower high and then they reject it back down, okay? But if you're trading bullish or bearish, you should measure your zone so you know exactly what you're looking for. So it came back down right now, higher low, coming right back up. So that's what I'd be physically watching to see if it can kind of close above there. We also have a point of interest right here where that body closed and this one opened right now. Just now, this is more recent, okay? And maybe we can follow this going into Wall Street, okay? But the hourly, if we look at it, if we're following the overall trend, it looks like it's a big double top where it came up one top, there's the big neckline, bottom, came back up, second top, and then it came right back down right there, almost breaking. There's the M pattern, could have broke, but it got saved, and now it's coming right back up. So is it going to just come up to maybe here, for example, or to the high of the day, still be a lower high, and then they continue dropping it down? And if we break through here, if your hourly body's closed below there, you flip that green zone red, could be a selling day, and then you're continuing to push down. However, could be where it's building now. This could be the second leg that's building back up. So we'll follow this hourly candle. It's going to close in 4 minutes. We're going into 9 a.m. and then we're going into Wall Street very soon. Okay, so on the 5 minutes, this is what we got. We have that kind of choppy consolidation coming from London all the way over here. There was that big drop right there at 7 a.m. And slowly, like if we go off of this trend right now, if you draw a trend line, you can see it's ascending. There's the parallel channel coming up. Remember, we had the parallel channel on gold hourly coming down. This is the parallel channel so far on the hourly. Came down, found a bottom at the low of the day right there. Or sorry, on the 5 minutes. If this is the 5 minute channel, found the low of the day right there. Continue, come back up, higher low, come back up, higher low, and maybe can we continue to break and close above that big bearish candle that came down? We're retracing back up above it. Will it just come back up and we're coming right back down today? Okay, so and then inside here, if we're trading on the 5 minutes, some key points of interest. Where do you see like a lot of structure on these? Maybe right here. I know it's real choppy, but I would place it like right around here. There's a body, a couple fake out moves above there. It came and retested it right there and pushing down. And I love the number, 44,375. So that's what we're watching to see. Do we have continuation to the upside on US30, or is it going to break back down and do something like this and drop back down into the lowest point of the day? Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Let's add our daily bar indicator to just give us a heads up of that was our opening price. It was initially bullish right there where we hit the high of the days just before 10 p.m. Eastern. And then since then, it came back down to the opening position. You can see where it came down to the opening position. Sellers all throughout London continue to sell it all the way down. There was that big drop that we just had at 7 a.m. And you can see the 5 minute candle slowly building its way back up, creating that wick on the daily candle. But we still have bearish volume. And see where I have 50% mark, that red line right at that 375 of the volume currently in the candle. Okay, so if it comes back up there to that red line, that could be a point of interest where maybe the market pushes back down. Okay, so I like to watch this area right there to see what happens if it gets up there. And then you can add an EMA 9, an EMA 200. Our EMA 200 is right there, close to that red zone. And our EMA 9, we're above it right now, creating this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and possible new higher high momentum. Okay, so that is US30. We'll watch it now for the next couple of minutes because we're going into 9 a.m. right now. And guys, we sent out that signal for the sell on US30 right there at 44,300. That was that big candle that dropped. So if you got it, congratulations. And also gold over here. Okay, so 3395, that long position right here, 3395, running up to 405. That's 100 pips last time I did my math. And with a quarter lot size, you can turn that 95 into 250, 260 US dollars. That's a phenomenal daily wage, more than some people make at their 9 to 5. Okay, that's not bad. You could be done for the day, pack it in, and continue to compound your trading account. So congratulations on those that took these opportunities, these sell setups. Also here, we've got a currency pair, British pound US dollar, looking for those double bottom buys at 1.34 and continuing to move up. Okay, so guys, if you're looking for some signals, some trade ideas to help you out with your trading, we'd love to help you guys out. We've got a great signal system, and that gold trade is running 170, hopefully 200 pips up here. But let's watch the close here. 10 seconds. We're going into 9 a.m. Okay, so there is a little bit of resistance right here. We'll see how it closed below it. So this bar could open bearish and come down. See, the buyers were not strong enough to close it above that hourly resistance. Something very technical like that, where they pushed it down and closed below, could open this bearish bar and start pushing down now. Okay, it's kind of like a wall there. It's still bearish. I did not see a bullish candle break and close above in order to turn it green so that we can trade up to there. Okay, you can see how they rejected it. So we'll see at 9 a.m. this hourly push down. If it comes down, will it trade into the 9 EMA right at my hourly white line, maybe at the bottom of the channel, maybe pick up a wick and continue to break out? It could catch a wick and break out impulsively to create that high and then get rejected back down. But you guys understand, this is the importance, okay? I know someone said the other day, why is this channel just education, or are we actually trading? Well, we like to educate in a live environment while we're live trading. So if you know all about that candle, then I don't need to explain it. Then I hope that you guys understand what just happened there, why this candle opened bearish. If you know that what it is, then I don't need to explain it and waste time. What we can do is we can do NASDAQ. We can get ready for NASDAQ. But you guys see how it's still a wall there. Okay, that's why it's important to understand where that volume can close. Let's do NASDAQ so we can get prepared for Wall Street in the next 30 minutes. Okay. And remember that these are two different securities, two different indices. This is Dow Jones. Okay, this is Miss Jones over here. Completely different. We talked about this yesterday. Completely different weighting system. The way how it's weighted. NASDAQ and S&P are more market cap weighted, and this is a price tag kind of weighted system. So I assume you guys know that, okay? If you don't, that's why you need to educate yourself. Okay, this is NASDAQ now. What has been on a tear right now? NVIDIA, AMD, SMCI, TSM. Those are a lot of semiconductors. So their tech is on fire right now. Palantir, all-time highs. Like what's causing this move is tech rally. So there was the previous all-time high, double top on NASDAQ. If you stretch it into the future, I can see a daily bar closing above it. So got to just go through the motions. Red to green, stretch in the future. Look at the block it's in. 22,100, right at the 50%, the dotted line. Okay, so if we ever come back down in here, that might be an opportunity to look for a swing position. Okay, we're breaking new all-time highs. Maybe you didn't buy the all-time high, but you're waiting patiently for that pullback at 22,100. It comes in there, might tag you, and then it could be driving to a new all-time high. Okay, but that's not always the situation. I would love to tell you if that was the situation. It's got a high probability of doing that, but it's also got a high probability of breaking down, closing below there, and then that will be turning into a red zone, and then we drop. And then this could look like a fake out, a multi-week fake out, but that's, again, when you're looking on the higher time frames, those daily candles are breaking out. They could come all the way back in. That would be a fake out, and then it comes right below that block, right below that shoulder, and then we're dropping. So you got to look at it like that. These could be like, that's why I always imagine that all candlesticks have the same characteristics. these are daily candles, but they could also be 1 minute candles. You just got to patiently wait for it to possibly come back down. On a daily candle, you got to wait a long time. But that's the difference between investors, swing traders, intraday traders, and scalpers. Completely different mindsets and time frames when you're trading, okay? So what are we doing now? We're trading in all-time high charted territory up here. So do we see any structure of what we got so far? Maybe right here, I see a little bit of resistance and it's turned to support with that body closing above. So that little zone, I stretch into the future. Maybe I could get a smaller pullback coming into here and driving off of there, okay? Maybe it might not come all the way down into here. Maybe right there might catch some buyers. They're in there in the depth of market. They're there, but this one probably has a shit ton more. There's probably a big heat. If you got a heat map, there's probably be a big block here that you can visually see. Is there other areas too? You know, this barcoding, bullish, bearish, bullish. I would maybe identify 50% of that right there. Put it as a point of interest. That's still holding the market up. If you want to move it up to those bodies, you can. See the body, you got a wick and a wick. That's if you want to be a little bit more precise, but I would maybe keep it right there at 50%, still holding 50% of that candle, okay? Now, we kind of built our depth of market below us, but what we got to do is figure out what's going on above us, okay? So we're in this uptrend. It's making higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Look at that impulse breakout on a daily. Created that higher high, got rejected. Look at where they closed it, below that zone, and then it opened right here on Wednesday, bearish, came all the way down, but picked up that higher low wick, and again, transacted and closed in that green box. And then the Thursday of last week, that's when we filled and continued to drive. Again, can we, off of that big bullish candle, 50%. Are we still holding above it? Did it retest? It's already retested. I'm assuming that's 50% right there. We're still holding above it. There's another 3-bar bullish flag, and we continue to break. There's our new all-time high for NASDAQ, 23,287. I'll draw an orange line up there. That's what I'm doing for all-time highs, is orange for Donald Trump's makeup on his face. So that's Donald Trump's orange face up there. That's the all-time high, okay? And we got rejected, and it was created yesterday, and we rejected off of it. And here's our transition into today's daily candle. So were there any gaps? I see where we closed. I see where we opened. Yellow line, point of interest. And look at it. We're trading right at our opening position. You can barely see the volume because it's right at it. So initially when we opened up, we were bullish. We came up. We created our high of the day. It's lower from yesterday, and it's a lower from the all-time high. And pushed down. The sellers were in control earlier today of NASDAQ and sold it all the way down to there, where we found our lowest point of the day. That's our lowest point, 23,134. And then our buyers were still there protecting it, pushing it right back up to where we are back to the opening position. So are we going to flip in Wall Street, come back up, flip as a hammer candle and break a high of the day, and we're filling our all-time high wick and maybe driving for a new all-time high? Or are they going to bring it down and Wall Street sellers are going to continue to come back down here? Okay. So points of interest, again, there's a body to body. Make sure you mark that zone with a yellow line just in case we come down there at some point. That's a good interest area. I love the number, 23,075. Doesn't get any more psychological than that. Maybe what we also got to find is this big bullish candle yesterday. Can we identify a zone, a bullish zone? Very simple. Fibonacci, open, close. There's my 50%. I can see today we kind of broke below it, but if I create my box right there, I still see we're trading in that bullish zone, okay? So extend that, continue for today, for tomorrow, for the next day, for the next day. We'll see if this green zone still builds, and then we could maybe building for new all-time highs, continue to go. Our first retest of the zone is holding, okay? And good response by the buyers, but we're right back here to the opening position. So this is going to be the battleground. And it might get choppy during Wall Street, or it might be one nice move. Who knows? But this now, if we get to a new all-time high, now this is price discovery. I don't know where it will go up here. So I got to use either a depth of market. I got to use psychological numbers where it could go, depending on what type of trader you are. I'm more of a 1 minute, 5 minute scalper. Maybe I go 25 pip increments. If you're more of an intraday trader, maybe you go 50, 100 pips. If you're a swing trader, maybe you go 200 to 250. Everyone, whatever floats your boat, you do what you got to do. But pinpoint those psychological numbers. 23,500. I don't give a shit if you're a scalper, intraday trader, swing trader, or you're an investor. You got to mark that, okay? 23,500. Like 24,000. Again, I don't care what type of trader you are, but 24,000, 24K, you got to mark that. That's a nice psychological number, okay? But more inside here, okay? I know that might be a stretch, 23,500. Our all-time high is 23,287. Why don't you go 300, 400? You can mark it, you can grid system it however way you want, okay? There's 23,400. 23,300 is just above the all-time high, not too high, right there. Okay, 23,300. That's where you can kind of do a little bear zone if you like, from the yellow to that orange, and just draw yourself a zone right there. Just give you a heads up that maybe that's where they keep it down. We'll see what happens. But you see how I've kind of got a grid system above, below. I'm following the trend. What is the trend? It's moving higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. If I want to trade with the trend, I want to be buying pullbacks. I'd like to buy a pullback in this green zone. I'd like to buy a pullback at this yellow line. I'd love to buy a pullback all the way down in here, but I don't know when it will come down there. Okay, so that's the patience game in trading. Now, let's break this daily candle down into hourly increments. Figure out, when did it make the high of the day? When did it make the low of the day? Do I see any hourly structure being built? So this big bullish candle was yesterday, 9 a.m. Remember, guys? That big bullish move at Wall Street. Okay, then we traded 10. Like, I can follow all yesterday's price action. There's 2, there's power hour, 3. Then when the market closed, and then we opened back up over here, like kind of 10 p.m. Then it started going bearish, 11, midnight. There's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Here's London now. Okay, so our highest point was created right there at around 9, 10 p.m. last night. It's still pushing down. If I go from up here, lower low, lower high, lower low, this could be a lower high, and then they could definitely push it back down. But we could be building too, because we got this uptrend forming from here, higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay, so, if you got to draw trend lines, sometimes you got to draw a trend line right there that's in its upward trend. I know someone will say, well, Ron, we might be trending down with this. Yeah, it just all depends on the time frame you're speaking of. Okay, we could do something like that. And then this is the overall push down, coming back up, lower high, push down, coming back up. There, that could be the resistance. The highest point could, and then we come back down. But when we come back down, you're coming into the green zone. So if you're trading, like if it comes down during Wall Street down in here, it might come in there and then it goes back up. Okay, or if the sellers are serious and they close it below there, you flip that green zone from green to red, and then you start again. You see how we're coming down this parallel channel, but when we're coming down to these points of interest, there could be buyers here. There could be buyers here. If the sellers can continue to close below and then retest this, then it turns to resistance, and we're dropping further down. Okay, but we'll figure that out today when the volume comes in and continues to trade. Tomorrow when we do our analysis, we'll know exactly how it's moving, okay? So we're close to the high of the day. If we get some hourly volume, again, it's similar like gold, where we broke out of this trend, right? Very, very similar, almost identical setup to gold. If we break out of here, we get some hourly volume. Remember, 7 a.m., we got that hourly volume close above. We retested this, and we were driving for that 200, 150, 200 pips on gold. Very similar. NASDAQ can do the same thing today. But if you're coming in this red zone, you've got to understand that could be where it drives, and you're buying into where sellers are, because that could be the big double top. Right there's one top. There's our neckline. Let's say, for example, we trade in there today, and then we come in there, they could slam it right back down. Okay. So you just got to be careful when you're trading into these zones. Just tread careful. That's where you start managing your risk. If you're in profit, you start bringing your stop loss to break even. You start scaling out. You start, have a trailing stop loss, and just should, you guys got to have an automatic trading plan every single day. If you don't, you're just going to continue to confuse yourself. Do we have any now hourly supporting structure? I'd like you see here, there's a body close, body, wick, and about 50% of that candle. Just right here, if I draw a white line right there, see there what I'm saying? That bullish body came up right up to there and closed. That spin top body closed. This crazy London candle opened right there and the volume below. Look at 4 a.m. We retested that white line and pushed down. Now we have at 7 a.m. that big bullish candle that closed above. That's about 50% of it. We've already came down, but we have not transacted at that white line yet. 23,180. It's making a higher low. We're continuing to push up. This hourly candle is going to close in 45 minutes. So this will be representing Wall Street as well. So now what we can do is go to the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes are building out of the green zone, come back up. They pulled back, higher low, go for a new higher high, pulled back, created higher lows, continue go higher high, pull back, higher low. Right there, that wick kind of tapped right into that daily point of interest. See how we're getting rejected there. We got rejected there at 325, 330, 335, 340. That's just right after London market open, push down. So we're trading going into Wall Street in the next 15 minutes, right back to London's high. So if you want to mark London's high with a red box right there, you certainly can do that. And it's right in our daily point of interest, right in 50% of it. So Wall Street could push this move back down, or we could just break right through here, and we're not too far away from the high of the day purple line. It's only 30 pips away to break through there, and then maybe continue to drive up, okay? So that's what we got to be watching for today, okay? Right now, it's bullish. If you ask me, like it's making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, a new higher high, but there's that second top we're coming into, London's top, right there. There was London's move. They rejected it back down. Our big neckline is all the way down in the green box. We've managed our way. NASDAQ has creeped its way all the way right back up there. But you guys know we're right in that zone. It could definitely come back down. Maybe I'll look for buys at the white line. Maybe if it comes down there, you buy that, come back up, close above there, retest this, and you're gone. New high of the day, and maybe flip the daily candle, okay? But it could also, maybe it doesn't need to retrace down there. Maybe it will close above leading into Wall Street. Like Wall Street's 15 minutes away. It might close above there. We might flip this zone, maybe build off of here, and then Wall Street just continues driving, okay? Bullish. Or, I don't know, it could be bearish. Like right now, it's got a bearish candle coming down, okay? So that's what we got to watch for. I know there's a lot of zones intersecting each other, but that's why it's listen to when I do the top-down analysis so you're not kind of confused. Adding a daily bar indicator, okay, just to reiterate, we opened here. It was initially bullish. We can see right there when we hit the high of the day, it was exactly at 9:45 p.m. Eastern. We came back down, opening price. Sellers were in full control. There you can see the big kind of selling momentum from London. Came all the way down. We just hit the low of the day right there just after 5:30. And we came all the way right back up. You can see this 5-minute trend coming all the way right back up, right into this zone here. So we'll see. Wall Street could be very choppy. It could flip this candle bullish and continue driving, or sellers could come all the way right back down. But then we have an hourly point of interest, and then we've got a kind of a demand zone down in here. Okay, so we'll leave NASDAQ and US30 side by side. I'll add the 9 EMA, 200 EMA. We're above the 9 EMA. We're above the 200 EMA. There was actually a bullish crossover, golden crossover right here just prior to 8 a.m. and it's still building off of it. Okay, so these two are side by side. We've got NASDAQ on the right side, and we've got US30 right over here on our left side. So you can see it came in there, rejected back down. Came in there again, rejected back down, lower low. Came in there again, lower high, rejected. Continued. Now it impulsively broke below that hourly support, okay? So we could come back in. If we lose this, then we could see more selling pressure. Okay, so we're 12 minutes away from Wall Street. I tend to not get into a trade prior to Wall Street if I'm not in a trade, I don't like to get into a trade. Sometimes it happens. I take a trade at, let's say, 8:45, 9 a.m. and I'm still holding it going into Wall Street. Sometimes shit happens, but I'm not in a trade right now, and I'm not looking to get into a trade until after Wall Street. I've already hit my daily goal with gold. If I wasn't trading with you guys, I would be at Tim Hortons right now, having a coffee and a smoke right now, and not even looking at a candle to trade right now. But so we want to keep the stream going. We want to have some fun, continue with education. Wow, gold is off the charts, guys. Oh my God. Okay, so look, guys. Okay, you see what I mean? These green zones, just add alerts in there. See how it moved? It came right back in there. You could have bought right here at 3,400. If you did, you're up over 100 pips right now. Okay, you guys understand like how we have not pulled back into this zone. We pulled back into there 1, 2, 3 times. If you bought in there, congratulations, you're in the money. This one, if you missed out, look at where it pulled back into. This big red zone, that double top that we moved to green, and it came back in there, and look at what the holy shit. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a big move. Wow. I'm scratching my head now, wondering why I didn't leave a little bit more. Oh my God, 250 pips. This is ridiculous. Okay, and then you see now how it pulls back, closed above that daily point of interest, that 3409, 3410. Now it's acting as support for this move. Okay, I could look here to maybe short this move. I don't need to look at my RSI. I guarantee you it's showing that we are really overbought right now. Okay, it's not rocket science to understand that. Yeah, like look, there's bearish divergence, it's even showing me. But if you sold that candle, you got ruined. If you sold that candle, you got ruined. If you sold that candle and you didn't know how to pip and dip, you got ruined. So right here, now we might see some structure. So here, came up, back down, coming back up, maybe a second top. If it closes below there, that's where gold could sell back down to that zone. If you're looking to take that sell from there to there, get your money and pip and dip out of the market, because measure it so you know that's approximately 60 to 70 pips in there. Because when you're coming in there, you're coming in where there could be buyers, and then they're pending in there, and then they bring it right back up. If you're just selling that move, you're countering the move, you could sell where the buyers are, grab your 50, 60, 70 pips, and just get out. Take your money and run. Because if it comes in there, it could definitely do that. Okay? And then you're gonna wonder why you didn't take out your money. So you gotta have rules when you're counter trading, and you gotta also have rules when you're trading with your trend. But I think right there, if we lose that support, 3409, that's that it could drop down a little bit more. I'm not saying that that's going to be bearish for gold. I'm just saying that could be like a pullback, opportunity to maybe sell. But I wouldn't even look for selling. Just look for buying pullbacks. If you're not comfortable trading like that, just buy pullbacks. Man, and that trade was with zero drawdown. That's sometimes it's disgusting when you get in trades like that, where you take the trade, it's zero drawdown, and these things run 100, 200, 250 pips. That's when trading gets real fun. Okay, guys, so we're not going to be watching gold, unfortunately, but if you guys are managing this trade, how many of you guys still have, I don't know, I always, for the shits and giggles, I always ask, is anyone holding the entire trade from 33.90? Because sometimes there is someone in the group, Mike, wow. Congratulations, brother. That's big. Oh man, I could, for the life of me, I don't know if I could do that, but man, great hold. Holy, Adrian, you're from 33.85, my man. Oh my God, from all the way down here. Whew, that first block. Man, good job, guys. Wow. Okay. So gold was fun today. You love it or hate it. Some days, I told you got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so are we surprised that US30 is getting rejected here? Are we surprised that NASDAQ is getting rejected in the red zone? I'm not surprised, because it's a red zone for a reason. That would have been a nice little quick scalp sell. But I don't want to take a trade right now prior to Wall Street market open, okay? AG. It's your second time on our stream, and I want to thank you for education, simple education. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you can just continue to join the stream, continue to learn daily. As I always say, I guarantee you'll learn something new on every one of our streams. I can literally say that. Dave and I have been on YouTube for almost 6 years now, and I can say from day one to today, I guarantee you'll learn something new every day. Because the markets present us something every day. There's always something to learn from. Always. Even myself. I don't know it all. I don't claim to be a guru. I'm a student of the game. I've said that from day one. I will always be a student to the game of trading because it's a fast-paced environment. You got to stay sharp. You got to continue to learn. If you stop learning, you're going to stop making money. It's that simple. If you keep on top of your education, you keep learning, you keep analyzing the markets, you learn from your mistakes, you can quickly, if you get stopped out, it doesn't really affect your psychology. You take a stop and you move on. You analyze it quickly, you understand what you made, what was your mistake, and you move forward. If you're not over leveraging, if you're not over risking your account, you can simply learn from your mistakes. It's not that hard. If you're constantly struggling, like months and months and months and years of losing, you gotta fix something. You gotta step away from the charts and figure out what your issues are. You just seriously got to take 1 week away from not even looking at a chart. You got to look within yourself. What is it that's causing you to constantly lose every single day? There's got to be a reason, and I guarantee you, if we had a conversation, I'd pick it out. I'd figure out what it is. It's not that hard. It's one of 3 or 4 things in trading. Number 1, you're over leveraging. Very simple. You're over leveraging. Number 2, you're taking impulse trades without being patient to wait for bodies to close. Number 3, you're hedge trading. You don't know what direction it's going. You're counter trading. You're trying to wait for pullbacks, and you're confusing yourself. And those are 3 of the biggest reasons why you're possibly failing as a trader. I know because I've gone through that. I'm talking for myself. I've gone through that. Those were the biggest things why I was losing. And then I had to step away from the charts and correct it. For some of you guys, it's easy to make corrections. For others, it's very, very difficult. It takes a lot of time. Bronson, for you, it was over leveraging. For me, it was over leveraging too. For me, I'm a 1 minute trader. It was taking those impulse 1 minute candles. That's what was, Bronson, I was trading those 1 minute candles over leveraged with higher lot sizing on impulse, and they would turn around and fuck me over. So that's what it was for me. And then I had to learn how to lower my lot sizing on 1 minute scalping and wait for bodies to close. You know how hard it is to wait for 30 seconds, 15 seconds, but sometimes you got to wait for it to close. Chaos, you took out 100 pips with 2 lots. Congrats, bro. That's nice. That's a daily wage, my man. Okay, guys. So we're going to have Wall Street market open in just a few moments. Again, follow your security. Follow what you feel comfortable trading, whether it's US30, NASDAQ. We do these 2 from time to time. I think, guys, we should start to add ES, S&P 500. It's more of a cleaner version. It's out of these 2. It's less volatile. So maybe we'll add that also. Okay, what I'll do is maybe I'll have another chart where maybe ES can be on its own, but we'll start to add some multiple charts. Okay, and we're about 2.5 minutes away from Wall Street. So right now, you know, it's got the bearish leg coming down. It could pick up a higher low and come back, but we have resistance above us, especially on US30. Okay, we got this red block above us. We have this hourly resistance, red block above us. We have a good buying zone down in here at the lowest point of the day. But remember, let's watch. There is some liquidity, okay? You got to understand, below the low of the day, there's a shit ton of liquidity there because anyone who bought the low of the day, I guarantee their stops are here, somewhere down in here, protective stops. The market knows that. Maybe it wants to come down there, liquidate, grab that money and go back up. That's a possibility. But there's also liquidity in this zone above here too. Above us, okay? There's these sellers. these sellers right here, these sellers right here, these sellers right here, their stops are maybe here or above this zone, okay? So we've got a lot of liquidity above and below us. Now we watch what Wall Street's move will do. Will they come up, take it, and reject it back down? Will they come down in here, grab that, go back up? We'll figure it out, okay? And then all I can say is this the last time I'm going to say this. Going into Wall Street, please manage your risk, right? Everyone has different risk levels. My risk is different from yours. Yours is different from someone else's. Everyone has their own individual risk. Everyone trades with different sizes of accounts. Everyone has different, I don't need to go over this, okay? We're mature enough to understand this. But also, if you made a great trade today, maybe you were trading London prior to even coming on the stream. Maybe you were part of that gold trade. Maybe you're part of some of SST's signals today, and you've got a healthy profit. Maybe you're up over 0.5%, 1%. Some of you guys might be up 2%. Now ask yourself, do you want to go are we playing blackjack? We're just doubling down and going into Wall Street with all our profits and just going for it all? Or are you managing how much you're keeping? So for example, if you made 1.2% right now, do you want to risk it all in Wall Street, or do you want to just risk maybe 0.2%, and no matter what happens, you still end the day with 1% and you're happy? You got to kind of, you're not just a trader, you're an account manager, you're a risk manager. It's not just trading. You got to manage a lot of moving parts as a trader, okay? So this is market open. It could be crazy volatile. You can see big moves. I saw that candle open, ignited, come up, got rejected, filling back up. You're welcome to trade this candle if you want, but it could get very volatile. The best thing, in my opinion, is just wait 5 minutes if you can. Just 5 minutes. But I know someone's going to say, Ron, I'm missing out on this bullish volume. Go ahead and trade it and see how it is, because you're not just trading that candle. You're trading your spreads, you're trading slippage, you're trading your execution speed with your broker. You're trading a lot of stuff right now, okay? If you feel comfortable trading that right at market open, go ahead. That's your business, not mine. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for a full 5 minutes to close in order to determine, are they sweeping liquidity high, coming to the low? Is this a bullish ignited candle going to close above this red zone? Is it just coming up, faking out, and come back down? All of that shit. Yes, I might miss out on a trade, but that's look at NASDAQ. What happens if you bought that fake out open? You bought and look at how it came all the way down. And you over leverage, you're probably panicking right now, Look at that big bullish ignited candle that opened and came right back down, still holding the ignited open. These are the things that I'm looking at, okay? When I'm analyzing, if I say I'm waiting for 5 minute candle to close, I'm watching the full 5 minute candle close. I'm watching every single move it makes. Look at NASDAQ. Holy shit, that's a big dump right at market open. So they baited in those buyers right into the second top and they dropped it. US30, opposite direction, building, building, building. Okay, so now they came in here. So they swept the liquidity in there. They hit all those pending orders. Now will it get rejected? Will it stay inside here? Will it continue to build? This is the first 2 minutes of market open. My goodness, look at NASDAQ. Wow. Holy, okay. So NASDAQ's low of the day is right there. Remember, there's liquidity below the low of the day. Are they hunting for it down in here? Lady Stone, it's hard for you to admit to a losing trade. It's all good. You got to, you got to admit it. Like it's hard for me too to admit when I lose a trade. But it's trading. Like I understand that there's gonna be days when you win. There's gonna be days when you lose. No trader is always perfect. You're not gonna. It doesn't exist. If anyone says that, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. To come on here with a straight face and say that you're 100% consistent for weeks and months and years, show me you'll be the greatest trader of all time to live on this planet. Show me. I've been on the Wall Street floor. I've been on the Toronto Exchange floor. There's no perfect traders. There's no perfect bot. There's no perfect algorithm. Nothing exists. If you think you're perfect, you're going to get humbled real good in life in markets. So Lady Stone, it's all good. It's okay to accept losses and learn from them. That's what makes you stronger. You learn from your losses. You learn from struggles. It makes you stronger in life, and make you appreciate when life is good. To know where you came from, It's all good, guys. Treat trading like baseball. 3 strikes and you're out. Make your 3 best attempts in that day with proper risk management, patiently waiting for good setups. And maybe the market, you're waiting, you're as patient as you can be. You say, Ron, I waited for A+ setups. I used proper risk management, but I still got stopped out. Okay, that's how sometimes it happens. There's no guarantee just because you're patient and you wait for a setup and you're using proper risk management. That doesn't mean that you're going to constantly make money in these markets. Markets are volatile. We can't control things. But if you have 3 strikes, the market is saying something to you. Then that's the day you walk away. You come back stronger the next day. I guarantee you over time that's not going to happen. But there's going to be off days. Michael Jordan missed a free throw. Michael Jordan missed a layup. It happens. But the next day, I guarantee you he didn't miss his free throw. I guarantee you he didn't miss his layup. Okay, so what are we doing now? Look at US30. I'm going to assume it's going to close above both of these zones. Okay, so I'm just going through the motions. Good solid opening candle. Okay, is it going to get a quick retest? This is a nice retest right here, but I would rather like to get a retest buy of this zone below. Now you see that the hourly point of interest for NASDAQ is also where the 9 and the 200 are maybe crossing bearish. So if it pulls all the way back up, you're selling into, you're buying into about 50% of that big bearish candle. It's got to be somewhere right around there. Okay, that point of control. And then now, okay, so now US30 came all the way down. It broke, that's what I said. That's a minor zone. This one is more of a stable zone. So it came right in there, caught a wick. Is it going to reverse back up or is it going to get rejected back down? Okay, good flip on that candle. Will it flip as a hammer and continue to drive out of here? And look at the range of the candles too. Measure, like if you're thinking about trading, just the range of that candle is approximately 40 to 50 pips. Okay, so you got to think about that for stop loss. Look at NASDAQ. Wow, came all the way up there. They rejected it back down. So it could trade deeper down into this green zone. US30 is holding strong, so it kind of came in there, grabbed everything, created a new higher high. Will it break this daily position or will it kind of consolidate in here? Maybe it might give me an opportunity to get into a buy, maybe again at another discounted price. If it comes down, maybe I want to continue to buy with this. Okay, see how it's kind of consolidating in here? It's a bullish pin bar. It's a nice candle. It's building still. We're above the 200 EMA. Just looking behind resistance behind here. Okay, so I could break. Okay, so again, if you're still waiting, I'm still waiting. I didn't get that pullback buy. I would have loved to. But now maybe I got to wait for it to maybe come back down one more time in here and kind of create like kind of a double bottom down in here. The daily candle flipped as well. So remember, we're back to the opening position. So it's flipped. Pramila, you're in and out 30 pips and you have a runner. That's good. Congratulations. That's nice. Beautiful. I love it. Okay. I'm just looking at the opening markets right now. Nvidia's down 1.5%. What else else we got going on? Everything is pretty flat. Palantir is down 1%. It looks like flat right now. Okay, so just, again, if you're not in a trade, just continue wait it out. We can trade at 945. We can trade at 10. This is just Wall Street's opening move. We saw it's bullish, closed above, came back, retested this. Okay. Continuing to break that daily high flip candle. So we're approaching the highest point of the day. Are they going to break for a new high? It's going to be a lower high. They're going to push it back down. This candle is going to close in 60 seconds. Man, US30 looks really good at market open. So the only thing that I got to do now is, it is showing bullish, but I maybe have to patiently wait to maybe buy back in at this green zone. Maybe if I get an attempt right here to buy back in. It might not be now for Wall Street. It might be at 10 a.m. It might be at 10:30. It might be sometime later today. But again, that's what we got to learn, is how to be patient and let the volume naturally come down to us. Okay, so look at now how NASDAQ came out of the green zone right back into that 50% of that big bearish opening candle. And it's at that hourly white line. You got your 200 and your 9 EMA still there. Okay, so will it close above this zone? Will it close below it? Will it have one more leg coming back down? Wow. Okay, so this 5-minute candle is closing basically with no wick right at the high of the day. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here it comes, maybe coming down, maybe to that daily position. Let's see if it will come down in there at that yellow line. 50% of that preceding candle. Good wick. Okay, I'm going to buy. I like that quick little retest. I want to test to see if US30 can break the daily high. I'm going to place my stop loss below that green zone down there and look for a new daily high breakout. This will be my final trade of this session, and maybe we'll see US30 break for a new daily high. Maybe it will be the daily high resistance and comes back down to find some more buyers down in here. But my stop loss is just below that zone right there. So if it can break above that purple line, just looking at 5-minute structure above the purple line, there's some structure right there. See that double top right there? Right there. One top, two top, turned into support resistance right there. 44,485. Right there. There's that red line. Okay. Okay, so we're moving in profit. Okay, that's 20 pips. Up to there is about 50, 60. But again, it created that higher high, new daily high. I know this candle's got a lot of time on it, 3.5 minutes. Will it get closing volume above there? Will it use that daily purple line as support to continue to go forward? We'll see. Maybe it can start to move up 30 pips, then you can start to reduce some risk. 30 pips would be right around there. This is the way how I trade. I just love grabbing a few pips in and out, on the 1 minutes. But, I'm going to go now, manage my risk. There, break even, 30 pips. I'm going to take out 80%. Right there, taking out 80%, leaving 20% running. That's it. That's scalping. That's 40 pip scalp. Take out 80%, leave 20% running. If it gets to that red line, that's a target. That's a full fill, 50, 60 pips. Okay, so I'm at break even with 20%, took out 80. That's it. Okay, no wick, opened, pull back, push, firecracker, pop. Put some money in your pocket. Very easy. Keep trading simple. Okay, and if it wants to continue, go great. But we're asking for a lot up here to continue to drive. But with New York volume, you can continue to penetrate up there. And why do I have that red line up there? I told you, coming back here, there's the double top right there. Monday, July 21, and right there, 2 tops. Okay. There we go, guys. Beautiful. That's 50 pips up there. Okay. I'm going to take out another 10% and leave 10% running. Yeah, that's it. Oh, hey. Guys, 2 solid trades with 0 drawdown on both of them. right leading into profits. Gold, what did gold do? Gold is continuing to squeeze. Oh shit, guys, that's another daily point of interest. 420. That's when Scotty is going to smoke joints right there. 420, Scotty. That would be, guys, 300 pips from entry over here. Oh my God. Like, I think this was biggest trade live like I've had. Wow. Okay, guys, see what I mean? Don't be selling. Did it break below here? No. You could be buying pullbacks if you continued. Okay, and you see why I'm disciplined to do some shit close to that red line? I don't play games. I don't want to piss away money. Maybe, I don't know. That's just the way how I operate. Look at NASDAQ. Wow, 3-bar play breaking down. Took the low of the day. There's the liquidity. Maybe NASDAQ will start to reverse back up. Guys, that's an excellent call. I don't know what else we can do here, but hopefully you guys pipped. You guys grabbed some dips. Hopefully you guys learned something new. If you guys can leave us likes, remember if we get to 250 likes, I haven't checked, Dave and I will award someone on YouTube with a 7-day free trial at SST. You're welcome to come join our Discord. Go on the website, check out the education, join Dave's private live session that he's going to do in another 45 minutes. And Dave will continue with what we kind of left off with. I guarantee you're going to pick up some pips with Dave, especially if you love gold. Dave is our gold whisperer over here. And hopefully you guys had some fun today. I had fun. Guys, I'm in the process of flipping homes, so I'm tied up right now with a lot of things I'm doing, and I'm renovating my entire house. So I pulled out all the kitchen cabinets yesterday. Today I got to take out the island, and we got to do the tiling. So I'm a true tradesman. I trade everything. I'm a true tradesman. I'm learning. I'm job shadowing these guys. They're teaching me everything because Dave and I are going to start building homes very, very soon. You're going to see sniper homes. Built with precision. So we're going to take and have multiple streams of revenue and continue to do things in life, not just trading, other things. And I hope you guys can do things like that too. I've always wanted to build homes all of my life. And I think I'm at the point where I can start to do it now. So, but it takes a lot of time out of the day. So that's why I want to continue trading in the mornings, hit daily goals, and then go out and do other things. So, Jay, that's what you do, my man. Yeah, I'm doing it right now on my own my own home. My wife, but it's for her. I'm gonna test out, show her what I can do. So we'll see. I'll show you guys the finishing product, and you guys let me know on my work. But I'll keep you guys updated, okay? Guys, I had a great call, but I got some things to do. NASDAQ is dumping right now. US30 is pumping right now. So I told you, they're not the same securities. This is Miss Jones, and this is the nasty NASDAQ over here. They're two completely different securities. One is moving down, one is moving up. But just pick one and trade it. If you were in sells, look at when they did it. The second top, right there when Wall Street market only. Guys, it doesn't get any more visual than this. Like, it came up there, the one top, there's the physical neckline, 50% of that green box. We came up slowly right into Wall Street, and Wall Street opened, and look at the move they're dumping down, okay? Don't tell me that these things are not orchestrated, time and sales for a specific reason, okay? Once you start to understand that, you're going to really understand the way how these markets move, okay? And US30, I don't even know what that candle was, that bearish candle. I think that was just like a liquidity sweep. They came down, they hunted all of that, they took all the pending orders to create this bullish move that we're seeing right now. So sometimes when you see something and there's no news behind it, you got to ask yourself, what was that? Was it like a fake out? Was it manipulation? What was that? What was the cause of that? Why did they do that? If there was no high impact news, if there was no speakers really speaking here, Powell or Trump, that really said something to shock the market, then ask yourself, what was the reasoning behind that? And then look at how the market just slowly recovered, closed above it, and we continued to take off. So, guys, I had a great session. We'll do it again tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern. Please, YouTube, show some love, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, join our notifications, join our free Telegram right over here. It's pinned at the top of the channel for you guys. We're going to give away a 7-day free trial. Thank you, Mr. Progress, right over here. Let's hit the like button. These guys are legends. I'm new here, but I have learned a ton already. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, Mr. Progress. Guys, right over here, and congratulations to our giveaway. Daniel Asaya, you are the winner of our $15,000 funded FX account here with Fixify, and also a 3-month membership with us at SST. Guys, we'll do these more on a weekly basis as long as we get a lot of support. And also, if we get 250 likes today, I haven't even looked. Maybe you guys will surprise me at the end of the call. We'll give a 7-day free trial for a lucky winner on today's stream. Okay. And guys, just continue with everything. We have free blogs at SST. Guys, this is a good one. Weekend trading routine. You know, what do you want to do on the weekends if you want to be successful at this? It does take some sacrifice on your weekends. That's why I do my stuff Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, maybe Sunday evenings. When my kids and my wife are, like sleeping, that's when I do my stuff. Because I don't want to be doing my analysis when it's a nice sunny day and I could go to the water park with the kids. So I do all my stuff early in the mornings. I don't sleep. So when they're sleeping, that's when I'm doing my stuff. Hopefully when we get everything settled down, I might do some late night sessions with Bitcoin with you guys on weekends. You never know. You never know with me. That's the exciting thing with me. I'll just hit the notification button and who knows when we go live. We'll do marathon sessions. I'm down for the marathons. Guys, this Eris Mining, this company right over here, I've started a position where I bought 1,000 shares, and I'll keep you constantly updated with it. I'm going to slowly average down. I don't have a stop loss in this one. I'm going to continue to average down, and I'm looking for maybe to get a 5-10% return within the next few weeks. So this is a swing trade that I'm doing on this gold mining company. So we got to provide a little education behind it, and I'll keep you updated with how things are going. I want to do these things more with more securities. But this is just one to get us started. I know a lot of you guys like trading gold, but now you can look at gold mining companies, and you can see how it was with reverse stock splits in the past, how it's came all the way down, and it looks like it's coiling up for maybe a little bit of a push with gold trading near all-time highs. So this is a mining company. You got to mine gold out of the earth in order to sell it, right? So this is a mining company. Keep it on your watch list. And guys, thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys want to join SST. We'd love to have you guys. Here's our trading schedule with myself and Dave, and join us. And you got lots of education and everything here. Okay, guys, I had a fun time, guys, on YouTube. Great time, especially you guys on Zoom. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Enjoy your rest of your time with Dave, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Holy shit, NASDAQ is off the charts right now. Okay, so they're really dumping that. Okay, maybe US30 might, pull back, continue to go high, but also it could pull back itself. But thanks, guys. Have a good day, everyone. I appreciate all of you guys. God bless. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everyone on Zoom. Have a great day today. Sang, thank you. Lee, I enjoyed it. I had a great session. Thank you, bro. Enjoy your day. Be friend. US30. Hope you got some pips out of the end gold. Samuel, thank you. Lady Stone, good night. Jay, everyone. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the time with Dave. Boom. Take it easy, brother. I'll see you guys.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay. I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please. Secure.